It's now time for Ermanni and Edwards with Maz, live on the Woodward Sports Network. Every day, 2 to 4 p.m. Starring Ryan Ermanni, Michigan great and former NFL baller Braylon Edwards, and of course, Tom Mazaway. Let's talk some sports.
Welcome to Ermanni and Edwards with Maz. Ryan Ermanni won't be joining us today, but we do have an amazing fill-in, and that is my man Anson Wells. Anson, how you doing over there?
I'm excellent. You know what time of year it is for me.
Hold on. I know why, ladies and gentlemen, we know why he's doing excellent, because right now his Michigan State Spartans are taking on Mississippi State, and they are up 63-49 with 5 minutes and 25 and counting seconds in the first game of the first round of the 2024 NCAA Tournament. I see Michigan State out here, Anson. Wait a minute, where'd this come from?
It's Izzo season, baby. Let's go.
Now, what are your thoughts on how far, because this hasn't been a great season for Michigan State. It wasn't a great season for the Big Ten, period. But what are your thoughts on how far Tom Izzo can go with this team where you know how to win in the tournament, Maz? It's teams that have been together for a long time, and Michigan State's been together for a long time.
Well, at the preseason, this was a top 3, top 5 team on the polls. The guys are there. If they're clicking, this is a team that can play with anybody in the nation. They've got the X factor, though, and that's Tom Izzo, and this is his time of the year. So as much as, Spartan fans we're wasting a great squad right now, we've all been waiting for today, and so far so good. We're up 14 with just under 5 minutes left.
I'm just itching looking at that Michigan State. I'm so glad that I knew you would be doing the show today with me, because I just had to.
You did it too, didn't you?
Hey man, I just had to. Bring Wolverine.
Fair enough.
Just so I didn't itch. That's all. But to be honest, I always cheer for Tom Izzo at this time. I'm just concerned because look, Tom Izzo is a great guy. He's been a friend of the show. He's come on whenever Maz hits him up. I just wonder, has it passed by a little bit? Because you look at it like this, man. Like that team, like you said, was a top 3 team, was supposed to be better. Like, I don't know. That team is underperforming. And I think the one thing that Tom Izzo has been great about his whole career, the player development. Yeah. Like whether players came in as 5 stars and found out they were role players or whatever, every player that ever came in that system got better and better and better. And now you're seeing guys like Hogard, guys like other regress a little bit, and that's the one thing that scares me.
It's interesting you bring that up, because the player development side of Tom Izzo, his repertoire and history at State, he's done great by
amazing.
That. But he's also gone out and said many years ago that he was not after the 5-star blue chip guys because they were going to leave after 1 year. Yeah. So it's pretty easy to develop in this current college basketball game where the best players leave after a year. It's a little easier to develop guys that you plan on having for 3 years or more. I think that that's been a detriment to the Spartans' success because this is the current game. And we have missed out on guys that I think if we would have pushed and committed a little bit harder on, that we could have had in East Lansing. Now, this might be an unpopular, especially with my Sparties.
All right, now, when you look too long about these Spartans.
I won't get too long, but when you look at what's happening around all of college sports, you're watching the old guard get a little fed up with this NIL. And they're leaving. And it's almost a young man's sport now in terms of coaching. So we're going to see, can he pull up this magic in March again? Or was this season a sign of what the future would be if we continue to stick with Izzo?
Well, right now it's a great start for the Michigan State Spartans. They are up 66-50 with 4 minutes, 30 seconds left in the game. Akron and Creighton, 14-3, 31-31.
Love that matchup.
And then Duquesne and BYU, 11 versus 6, 43-32. And then tonight, Maz, I'll give you the crack at this before we get into the where's Cam Sutton news. Oakland and your boy Coach Campy taking on John Calipari and the Kentucky Wildcats. What say you? Does Oakland have a legitimate shot to win this?
Everything I read, everyone I talk to say they have no chance. The matchup's bad. I disagree. I just think Oakland will find a way to get up and down the court with Kentucky. We're going to have Nael Ruhl live from Pittsburgh coming up here in about a half an hour from now.
Oh, yeah.
Make sure you join us. He'll be doing, of course, the radio call for Oakland, does all their games. Obviously, he's going to get bumped by the March Madness guys on CBS and True TV and TNT and TBS, but good luck finding the game wherever the hell it is.
HBO Max.
HBO Max and DirecTV.
DirecTV.
DirecTV's got it as well. Hulu's got it. So if you got passes for that, get on it right now. I'm looking forward to that game. It's tonight. I truly believe that they can hang in there. I knew Michigan State was going to win this first game. They just don't. They always are going to find a way to win at least one. And the way they played the first half, the first 10 minutes, they look like a Final Four team.
They do.
They do. But the last 10 minutes, you're like, well, they could lose in the first round too. But right now in the second half, they look great, Anson.
Yeah, it's all that matters is March. And I am excited for Oakland. They kind of become a mainstay in the tournament. I remember what seems like 10 years ago or so that they made it for the first time and everybody was just excited for them to be there. But they're a 14th seed now. Kentucky is a perimeter-oriented team. And when it comes down to the tournament, it's grit. It's defense. It's winning the boards. It's getting in at the basket, getting those easy buckets. Now, obviously, if Kentucky's on fire on the outside, it's going to be curtains. But I think that they can hang in this game.
Yeah, I'm going with Oakland for the upset. You heard it 2 days ago. You're hearing it again now. I'm not changing my mind. 7:05. The Wildcats go down. Let's give you a quick update on what's going on with Cam Sutton. Yesterday, you weren't here, Anson, but just like everybody else in the city of Detroit and the nation, they heard.
And the Lions, apparently.
Cam Sutton on the run for a strangulation domestic violence situation. We'll give you the first crack at it, and then we can kind of talk about because for me, I'll let you go first. What do you think about the situation?
Well, he's in Florida.
Yeah.
They tagged him, his plates at a toll booth. So he's down there. He's clearly on the run. When you hear the Lions say that this is the first time that they've heard about it yesterday, maybe, but come on, guys. Whether you're lying or not, you should be a little bit more upfront. What I think this does is it takes a guy that kind of was a weakness in our playoff defense. And it forces the issue of them having to go out and sign or acquire a cornerback, and that's really been one of my biggest concerns for this team. I don't think Carlton Davis is the CB1 that we're looking for. Okay, and I think that this kind of puts them on the hot seat. They've got to go out and get somebody now.
Hot take by my man Anson Wells saying Carlton Davis III is not a DB1. You're right. We will find out. I mean, at the end of the day, it's up for debate. But just back to this thing, it's a weird situation. And let me start more just from the goofy side of Florida. I cracked the joke yesterday, and I think I was dead honest. Whenever something weird happens, like whenever you hear a story or a news breaking, and it's just like some wild story, and you're like, wait, I'm guessing Florida.
That's right.
I'm always guessing Florida, but this one is even still. So now they're saying they tagged his car. Mm-hmm. His car's in Florida. Mm-hmm. He went through a toll booth, but they sent this warrant out like they're on some type of manhunt to find this guy. Like I'm confused because if a warrant is out for your arrest, they reach out to you. They reach out to other people. As they can't contact you. Then they say, like, they release a warrant, say, hey, we can't contact this guy. Like, you're the police. You know where his car is. You know where his phone's been pinged. So is this a real situation, or is it you trying to get some press as you try to figure out a situation?
That's a great question because there's a lot of domestic violence that goes on in this country. In this city.
Yeah.
And people are
somebody's in handcuffs the next day.
Absolutely. The fact that they're pursuing him the way they are tells me that there's probably something more to this story. The fact that the Lions are claiming ignorance and maybe it's truthful, I think that there's just more that's going to play out with this thing. I think we got a couple of topics today that we're just seeing the tip of the iceberg.
Maz, I'm going to ask you a question about a story. Mike, Pete, you too. Do you remember the Ray Rice situation?
Of course.
Yes. And this is, you just said something, Anson, that immediately took my mind back to that moment. So during the Ray Rice situation, remember it was found out that the Ravens had already known about the Ray Rice situation, but there was no investigation because the girl didn't press charges.
There was no video.
And they didn't say anything. It was like, it was mum's the word.
That's right.
But then all of a sudden, the New Jersey police, the New Jersey detectives or the whatever, the FBI, they wanted to go back. They re-pursued the case. And then the Ravens came out.
The video shows up.
The video shows up. Oops, well, yeah, we got to cut ties with Ray Rice, and he ends up suing and gets his money back towards it. But this is very similar to that, where the Ravens played like they didn't know anything. Man, it's an interesting situation, man. What is your thoughts on the situation, man?
Well, I believe the Lions here because I don't know. I guess I want to say I believe him, but how the hell?
How don't you know?
How does this is 2 weeks old. It's 2 weeks old, and the Florida police don't the teams have security guys?
Yes, they know everything. They know everything.
But aren't you talking on a weekly basis? I mean, I know it's the off season, but how?
Anson,
they know all.
That's what I'm saying. I think it's more embarrassing for them to go out and say, for 2 weeks we had no idea this guy's on the land.
Right.
Yeah.
Than it is for them to come and lie to cover up the fact that they knew this and they didn't bring it to the public. You know, it's the off season. You don't have to bring that to the public. It's concerning either way.
I would say this.
But his contract became guaranteed 3 days ago.
Oh,
3 days ago.
Yeah.
$12 million.
So maybe they didn't know.
I would assume they
didn't. And if they didn't know, their security guy should be fired.
No doubt.
Okay, if they didn't know, also this now, two things can be true. One, if they didn't know, that can happen. Or it goes back to what I started with. Florida and this county, this HOC county, they're weirdos. Florida's a weird place. Like the way in which they're going about it, I love that. Maybe they're not sharing any information with the Detroit Lions, reaching out to the franchise and saying, hey, look, this is a situation and involved. Like the professional way to do it is to reach out to the franchise and say, hey, look, there's a situation that's involving one of your players. Look, it's not really a good thing. Okay, we're going to tell you what happened. We're going to privy to the information before we, release it, whatever. But they tell them it's not good. Like, they don't do that. They put out a Warren Wednesdays like, your boy
sounds
stick.
like?
It sounds fishy.
Sounds like they're Buccaneers fans and they're still salty.
Listen to me.
Yeah?
Hear me out a minute.
Maybe.
When you get your agent always hits you up when you get a bonus or something, right? Remember you told us a story the other day.
Yeah.
Doesn't the team reach out to you after something becomes official?
Yes.
So you're going to tell me the team didn't reach out to Cam Sutton to tell him, hey, congratulations, your $10 million salary is now guaranteed.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm telling you, look, there was a situation, and when I was in Cleveland, it's well documented, it is what it is. I got into an altercation outside a nightclub. It was involving a friend of, LeBron James, blah, blah, blah. Eric Mangini and the Cleveland Browns knew about it that night. An incident happened around 12. I beat up some people. They had me on the phone at 6 a.m. in the morning. They had me on the phone, to talk about the situation. So when things happen like that, that's how cops, police, that's how they respond, or that's how they talk to franchises. It's right away. Hey, look, this is what happened. We're gonna release a statement, but we want to get you in to know first, so maybe guys can put together something. So that's why I'm saying Florida is tricky.
That's where you go.
100% to escape things. Also, it's still crazy. To hear on the run. Define on the run. Because if he's going through toll booths and you know about it, then you know where he is. He's not on the run because you're not chasing him.
That's right. They're monitoring him.
Exactly. This is weird.
I've always wanted to ask you a question because I didn't really know you back then. Did you win outside of that nightclub? Did you win?
Oh, come on, man. What? This is what I do. I'm born and raised in Detroit.
My boy.
Born and raised in Detroit.
My boy.
What? First, look, I'm from Detroit. At the end of the day, when those type of situations occur, altercations, when you feel a fight is about to go down, Mike, you can speak from it too. When you know a fight about to go down, it's no need to wonder and wait for someone to swing on you so that you can get stolen on, and then now you got to figure out you're in a fight. When you know that kind of the situation happens, swing first.
Yeah, I would want you on my team. I know.
Yeah,
that.
I swung first, and I'm not. Yeah, anyway.
There we go.
I got 3 dudes complaining about concussions. Get the.
So we got 10 seconds left in an 18-point Spartan victory. Let's go.
I had Mississippi State.
Let's go, baby.
I had Mississippi State.
Oh, come on, Bray.
Well, I filled out 5 brackets, so I picked Michigan State in 4.
You picked MSU.
This is true.
Either way.
You pick MSU. Oh, my God. I knew. You know what? I just thought we were going to get it.
So they'll get North Carolina if the Tar Heels hold serve, right?
Yeah, they're still in my nightmares, that squad, whether growing up a Michigan fan or, getting away from the dark side and becoming a Spartan lover and alumni. But, no, I don't know, man.
Hey, look, the game's over. We don't have to talk about Michigan State anymore until tomorrow versus UNC. But, Maz, there's a story that I know you and Anson want to talk about, and it's
yes, sir.
It's sweeping MLB, and I think
it is.
I think we may have a difference of opinion, Maz. I'll let you break down what the story is.
Well, guys, I don't know if you saw it. It was baseball today and yesterday, and by the way, congrats to the Padres. They wind up splitting the Soul Series. They win today, 15-11. How about this? Jake Cronenworth, 4 for 4, 4 RBIs. Mookie Betts, first home run of the year by anybody, 6 RBI. for Mookie Betts.
Jesus,
the Dodgers are pretty damn good, although
it's a tiny stadium, though, bro.
Well, Yamamoto, their big prize possession, the Dodgers signed as a pitcher.
So
he got blown up. $500 million they gave him. He got blown up in the first inning.
5 runs in the first inning. So
6 runs.
It's a short porch. It's just like last year when they were in Mexico City.
Right.
It's okay.
It's a middle league field, basically.
I understand that, but the fact that he got 6 runs scored means he was giving up hits.
Oh yeah,
he was.
It means he was giving up hits. So do you panic if you're the Dodgers, or you say it's the first game, it's nerves?
First game.
Yeah.
It's not even on American ground. It was in Korea. So let's see where it goes. But the main story here is Shohei Ohtani.
This is crazy.
Interpreter. We all see him everywhere. He think he makes $250,000 a year to be an interpreter.
Allegedly.
Which is a pretty good job. That's his salary from the Dodgers. Dodgers fired him officially overnight. Supposedly, this guy has taken out $4.5 million from Shohei's banks, and he has sent wire transfers to different bookmakers across the world.
Ipe Mizuhara.
$4.5 million
I'm glad you said
of Shohei Ohtani's money has been dispersed out of his account. But here's the kicker. Shohei's signature is on all these transfers.
Oh, this is tricky.
Now they're saying this guy was robbing Shohei, and now Shohei's agent is saying, well, obviously this guy did us wrong. What I'm saying is Shohei, who's making $1 billion a year minimum, is betting this, and his friend, his buddy, is putting these bets in. And this guy's going to take the fall for Shohei. I think Shohei is gambling, folks.
You remember Rip Hamilton's boy, the guy that was taking care of his whole crew that embezzled from him and everything, 100%. Josh or someone, I forget the guy's name. This seems very different. I was around that team a lot. I was around Rip and his whole crew back then. And
I remember Seven and Tonic.
Oh yeah,
and don't get me started.
Some good times.
Lush.
But being around them, he was part of their crew, but you could tell he was on the outside.
Right.
With this, everything that I've seen with this Ipe guy, they're longtime friends. This is more than just a business relationship.
Right.
You can't have that much money go out with your name on so many checks without asking what's going on. I mean,
it's not like they're going to Amazon.
Yeah, zero level of involvement, zero level of knowledge. Just seems crazy to me. Now, at the same point, there's the whole border or the whole loss in translation thing, but to
money
me,
don't lose translation.
I'm going to tell you right now, the MLB cannot afford to lose this guy to controversy the way that they did Mr. 3000.
Correct.
It won't matter. It won't matter what the truth is unless it comes out stamped in concrete, true, and for everyone to view. Otherwise, this best friend is taking the fall. He's going to shoot back overseas, and we won't hear much of it.
He won't see jail. No. He won't see jail. He'll go back to Japan. He'll
pay
avoid,
a fine. And they
got
that.
It. Shohei will not press charges.
No,
he will not press charges.
That's
I'm telling you, man.
That's
the number one
right there.
The number one man that's representing baseball is gambling $4.5 million at least.
Are you guys done? Are you guys done with this foolishness?
Well, go ahead.
So you mean to tell...
We might be done until you talk.
You mean to tell me that Shohei Ohtani, the greatest baseball player that has ever lived, in terms of what he can do, and being able to hit better than any hitter in the league, and also being able to pitch almost better than any pitcher in the league, do you know how much time it takes to be that great? He's sitting up gambling somewhere. He's got 162 games.
All you got to do is pull your phone out.
Do you know how much time that you have to put in to be able to pitch like that and hit like that and be in shape like that?
Are we talking about Jordan? How much time did Jordan have to gamble? He found time, right?
$4.5 million on transactions? This is ludicrous.
Michael Jordan, the GOAT, Mr. I live in the gym, found time to gamble, Bray.
Yeah, Michael Jordan went to casinos when he was playing in town. Yes, he stayed up and played all night and came back and bust people's ass. So it is
So
what it is.
Shohei can't go do that because he's pitching?
$4.5 million. That's
nothing.
But it's illegal.
That's one bet.
But it's illegal. Michael Jordan was betting in a legal premise. Like, this is illegal. You mean to tell me he has that much time to do something so stupid?
Jordan was doing illegal too.
First of all, Cap.
Yo, come on, man.
Yeah.
He'd have won 8 in a row if he wasn't gambling.
Hey, we did
Exactly.
not
If he's breathing, he's gambling.
We did not come here to talk about Michael Jordan the GOAT. I need y'all to relax.
I'm just talking about time to do stuff.
We're talking
He's
about
been cleared
gamblers.
of all illegal wrongdoing, Michael Jordan.
Right.
But he found the time, Bray. Now, this guy, I know he's also pitching one every 5 or 6 days.
But he's hitting every day.
But he's got a whole network in Japan. Maybe he's just betting on K-ball. Who knows what he's betting on? We don't even know what the bets were on yet.
Maybe he's our cricket brother. Maybe I'm just saying.
It's awful shame.
4.5.
Bray, you got to take your rose-colored glasses off because this is on Shohei. And
I do like those glasses.
This guy,
I like those
This
glasses,
guy
though.
is getting thrown under the bus, but he's making out just like the deflators made out for the Brady.
Here you go again. If you've known somebody for as long as you claim, Anson, that's your boy. Especially in the culture, this is your brother. This is your guy.
I need you to take the hit here for me.
He knows his signature. He knows his signature. I'm telling you,
Okay.
he knows his signature. He knows his signature. He forged the signature.
That's fair because I got my dad's signature.
Like
down.
what? I had my mom's signature down
Yeah,
pat.
man,
Like
I was showing up late to school.
Never did they ever think it. It just sometimes it would be absurd that I was signing. Like my
Right.
teacher would get no phone call. They're like,
Hear me out.
okay.
If you're taking out markers in a casino, or if you're taking, hey, look, Joe the bookie, I need $500,000 on a game, but I only got a couple of hundred here right now.
Right.
All right, I'll spot you. No bookie is going to spot Shohei's interpreter because the guy only makes $250,000 a year. But he'll sure as hell spot Shohei Ohtani because he's making $1 billion+ a year. So this guy has got no juice without Shohei. If Shohei don't know about these bets, those bets ain't happening.
So let me ask you this question: if it's only $4.5 million and Shohei has all this money, then how does it come out?
Those are just the ones we know of.
Because everything comes out, man.
Yeah.
Pause.
Everything comes out except where the hell Cam Sutton is. That ain't came out
Exactly.
yet. I'm still looking.
Free Cam.
I'm just
still
saying,
looking.
man, if you're putting those kind of bets in, it's you. It's the athlete. It's not the athlete's helper.
Shohei just looks so innocent.
Oh, he's
I guess
He looks like he drinks milk. He ain't had a drink in his life.
yeah.
This is not Shohei.
he drinks almond milk.
By the way, did you see the Korean
He drinking
actress?
gin if he losing 4.5
Did you see the
million.
Korean actress yesterday throw out the first pitch?
No. Oh, I know who you're talking
All
about.
the eyes
Michelle.
were on her. All the Dodgers were like,
Smoking.
she was a real beautiful girl, and she had to wind up and the whole 9 yards. But that was just a little sidebar. I
Did she
wanted
do
to
the
throw that in
backflip
there.
like the one gymnast did?
She did not.
I could live in South Korea.
That was
Did
cold.
not.
That was cold.
So anyway,
That was cold.
Shohei is $4.5 million lighter right now, and his guy is going under the bus for him. Just my opinion.
Shohei is Korean. He's
Japanese.
Japanese. Oh, you know that their samurai culture. My man might be off with his head. Let's get the kidney.
You know, you brought up a really great point, Maz. Are we going to see a lawsuit on Shohei's
Hell
behalf?
no.
So
No way.
if he doesn't sue his boy, then
He's gonna say, I don't want anything more to come of this. He's already suffered enough shame.
Yeah.
And we're gonna end it
I'm
right
just
here.
cutting ties.
We're gonna end it right here.
I'm just cutting ties.
shame is the name of the game in that
Like,
country.
hold on, like, let me tell you like this, Anson. Let's say it's true, which I mean, let's say
It
it's
is.
not. Okay, let's say it's not true. Let's say
It
it's not
isn't.
true. You about to make $1 billion in baseball. Why are you suing this man for $4.5 million? Like, even if you pissed at him, just let it go. Like, you're about
to clear your name.
I don't want to deal with it anymore. I don't want to deal with it.
That's wow. I don't know what you do there, man. I don't know what I would do.
$1 billion can
because
clear your
$5
name.
million is, like you said, it's a piss in a bucket. You just forget it.
$1 billion can
But
clear
at
your
the
name.
same time, nobody else is going to forget it if you don't take action and you just sweep it under the rug.
I feel you.
I feel like they're going to talk about it more if he doesn't address it and go after it. And what I've seen here is they're standing guard around his locker. They're not letting him talk to anybody.
Yeah.
He doesn't have his interpreter anyway. So
I feel you like this, but at the same time, when I watch A-Rod on Fox TV with what's his name, David Ortiz, I forget that they both took steroids.
Yeah.
Like, I forget that they both got popped a couple of times.
Yeah.
One's in the Hall of Fame and the other one's doing just fine. You forget over time.
He'll be in the hall too.
Exactly.
okay,
Eventually,
that's the next question because we got some guys that aren't in because of the same
Bad
type of
thing.
deal.
No, they're not getting in. He's the best player of all time, but he ain't never getting in.
Well,
I'm talking about Bob.
It's a double standard now because Pete Rose has been out for all these years, and he's got no chance of getting back in. Once Bart Giamatti passed away, that was it. That was his key to the Hall of Fame. They had a deal. Obviously, Giamatti passes away, and Bud Selig and the rest of those guys, Faye Vincent, none of them said, sorry, Pete, you're out. You're out of luck. Rob Manfred now. But the Hick King, not in the Hall of Fame for gambling on baseball, possibly on his own team. Don't tell me Shohei at $4.5 million ain't betting on the Dodgers. I mean, if you're betting everything. That's what it comes down to. And do I want to see the guy get popped? Of course not. Do I want to let him? Gambling it's part of our society now. It's like marijuana. It's like CBD. It's part of our culture now. It is what
Absolutely.
it is. But when you play a professional sport, you got to walk the line. The NFL walks the line a little. You could still bet as long as you're not betting on the NFL or you're not on NFL property.
Yep.
But you could bet everything else. Baseball, you're not supposed to bet at all. So who knows what the hell they're going to do. They got a mess on their hands.
Go ask Jameson Williams about the football side of things. Look, let's take a break. Right. Let's get back on track. Let you decide what you think. Shohei Ohtani, what side he is on. Pete, get us to where we need to be, my friend.
I wish I could because nobody gave me a rundown sheet. Maz.
Okay, Pete.
But we'll do Wake Up Woodward. Woodward Sports is a new morning show. Start your day with Wake Up Woodward Monday through Friday, 8 to 10 a.m. live right here on Woodward Sports. Join Kool-Aid, Flannel Sam, Broder, JB, and KG every morning as they cover all of Detroit's sports talk banner and live fan interaction. All right here on Detroit's #1 sports station. That is Woodward Sports. We'll be right back after the break.
Every year, after a cold and dreary winter, Metro Detroiters come together for two things: Tigers baseball and the best damned party in the world. A new season of Tigers baseball is here, and we're bringing in the new season as only Woodward Sports knows how. Broadcasting live from the biggest party. It's the Grand Slam Festival at the Detroit Opera House. Come party with 4,000 Detroit sports fans, starting with Wake Up Woodward and rolling into Big D Energy. This is a party you don't want to miss, with Detroit's best DJs, food trucks, and of course, shots. Get your tickets now at GrandSlamFest.com. 21 plus. See you April 5th at the Grand Slam Fest.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men for an award-winning haircut experience from one of our talented stylists. Enjoy a precision haircut, hot lather neck shave, scalp and neck massage, and a hot towel treatment to top it off. Enter for your chance to win the $50,000 Perfect Bracket Challenge. With more than 25 Metro Detroit locations, there's always a Lady Jane's near you. Lady Jane's Haircut for Men, open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles. And with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
You smell that? That's Brad Holmes cooking. And the off-season smells good. Woodward Sports.
As for Jack Labrador, you could click on that QR code. It'll take you right to the website, jacklabrador.gg. It'll tell you how to play this game, how to upgrade rock, paper, scissors with this game. 2 new symbols, a franchise-changing 3-point play to boot. 3 more games in this Champions deck. Motor City Showdown, Spell My Name, and Pink Slip. This is called the Champions deck. You get a deck of cards. Of course, you get the chip as well. Other games you could play. And, of course, 2 players and more can get on this. Ages 8 and up. Only $20 for the Champions deck. Check it out right now on jacklabrador.gg. Braylon?
That's right. Shake Shack, you know what time it is. When it comes to chicken sandwiches, I got to sleep for you, man. And that is Shake Shack. It's the Shake Shack Chicken Shack sandwich. Try it. Try the Chicken Shack sandwich for, wait for it, free. That's right. With a $10 purchase. And also, you mentioned the code word, Woodward. Code word, Woodward. $10 purchase, you get a Shake Shack Chicken Shack sandwich free. Just use that code word in person, online, or download the Shake Shack app today. Ooh, Is this it?
Bring that sound down, Pete.
Yeah, why don't you guys comment?
All right, we're gonna look at all the Dodgers checking out the pitcher, the Korean actress that was on the mound for the Seoul series.
She's stacked too.
She was,
What?
she was taking the Dodgers' breath away. That's to say the least.
She's thin as I don't know what.
For an Asian woman, she's stacked.
But what does that got to do with still being stacked? She was like 78 pounds. Y'all tripping.
I'm gonna have to disagree with that one.
She was in shape, but
Oh, you in love? You gotta say that. I forgot.
what? Nah, I ain't got nothing to do with that. That's what I see. I grew. Boy, oh boy. The difference in the women is hilarious. She's thin as I don't. What I'm gonna do with that?
I don't think you got a good enough look, Bray.
I did. She looks like those iPod earphones you got going on in your ears. She's thin.
There's a bump on the side of that.
She's beautiful, though. Like a beautiful face. Look at her. Gorgeous girl.
It's a good
What are you
angle.
talking about?
It's angle. It's angles.
That's not an angle.
It's angles.
That is a slim
First-
Korean woman.
First of all,
who's stacked.
I'm on Instagram. I know these tricks and trades these women use, certain angles and things they do.
That's no trick. That's just,
cap.
That's
That's cap.
she didn't even shoot that.
How much you weigh, Anson?
Anson's good for a
She
buck and
weighs
a half.
of that.
Are you a buck and a half?
Just my type.
Buck and a half, 160?
She weighs half of that. Anyway, let's get back to the show. Something interesting happened was, Mads, take us around. We talked about Cam Sutton a little bit in terms of nothing more on the Lamb, except the only update is they have located his car. It is in Florida. It has gone through a tow booth. Anson gave us that info, but nothing more. It's still a weird situation. It's just completely crazy that they will put out a warrant and say he's on the run. Meanwhile, this is 2024. Like, you can find anybody at any time. Like, legitimately, one time, I'll never forget. This is off season, Anson, and my uncle, he had come back in town. He was hanging out, and he was gone because he lived with my mom at the time. He was gone for 6-7 hours. My mom got scared. I sound like the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air song, but anyway, she got scared. Like, she used resources. She because he wasn't picking up his phone, which was unheard of, and there was some other situations going on with him and his ex-girlfriend. Like, we used the resources, and the chief of police found my uncle in a matter of minutes and went to the house, and he was hanging out with some old friends he hadn't been hanging out with in a while. It legitimately took her phone call, hour and 20 minutes. They knew exactly where he was. So that's why this still is funny. But when we get updated, we will let you know.
Well, the way the story goes is it's over parental rights to a kid. What happened is on March the 6th, they had a court appearance, him and this other woman. We don't know if it's his wife or if it's a girlfriend. And they had a court date. They were supposed to do a FaceTime video on the 7th, and that's when they got the call, 4:30 in the morning, from the woman that she has been beaten up and strangled and has bruises on her body. Wow. That's the latest from that sheriff's department, that it was over parental rights. They're going through some type of, I don't know if it's a divorce or if it's just, if that's his girlfriend, if it's or if it's his significant
we know it's his
other.
baby mama.
We don't know if it's his baby mama or if it's his wife.
Those baby
with
mamas
their
get
kid.
you in trouble, man.
So I'm not sure, but that's what it is. It's over who gets to see the kids more, and I guess she said he wasn't in a good mood to begin with on this. He wasn't happy about the outcome. They don't tell you the outcome.
Sure.
He wasn't happy about the outcome, so I guess he took it home with him. So who knows?
Yeah, it is
gone.
surprising. Like you said, Bray, it's 2024. We should be able to be finding this guy. I'm sure that he threw away his phone at this point if they're unable to find him. But it's just strange the way the stories come down, the way that it's being pushed up from Florida. I honestly, I know it's silly, but it almost sounds like there's some salty Bucks fans still. But this thing's going to unfold pretty soon, I think. You can get lost in the Everglades, but they know where he's at. I think this one's going to come to conclusion pretty soon here.
Yeah, I think it's going to come to conclusion. I think it's not going to be in favor of Cam Sutton.
No, it's not.
Like, he definitely put hands, not definitely, I still can't use that word, but it just more and more and more you believe what's going on, the outcome. You believe in the strangulation, and you believe in what the outcome was. Obviously, the outcome wasn't in his favor. Obviously, she got full custody in a situation like this, and that's what maybe made him react like this. I just feel bad, you know what I'm saying? With that being said, he's such a good individual, you know, in terms of what we saw, what we believed he was.
Great field leader.
And 100%. And even though he got torched, even though he got cooked, he did have good moments last season, and now you mix him in with a Meek Roberts, you mix him in with a Carlton Davis III, and he becomes that much better, and you add depth on the defensive line. I think he would have really helped this team out, but now the Detroit Lions have no choice. They have to cut him before the situation, so it's going to be.
I was going to ask you, Anson.
Now the draft.
We asked Bray yesterday. Do you think he's going to be on the team regardless?
I think it's a point of no return for both him and the team. I think he's sitting there, frustrated over the fact that he's overreacted to something that already hurt him, and now he's at a point of no return. He can't go back and try and get custody now. And then he's on the lam, and now how do you come back to Michigan? How do you face the team? How do you face your family? So he's, I'm what he is alleged to have done is despicable. Yeah. At the same time, he's a human being, and human beings make mistakes. And now he's in this fight for his life, kind of, or at least how he lives it. So the Lions know that. The Lions realize, look at everybody else. We brought up Ray Rice. There isn't a case after that wasn't handled immediately and honestly and up front by the player and the team that was allowed to exist this far beyond the actual occurrence, and he comes back to work. It just doesn't happen. I mean, you're looking at, what is it, Blake Snell or
the running back,
or the pitcher,
Oh, no,
but these guys that are, is it Snell? Trevor Bauer. That had all the alleged stuff that happened that didn't even happen.
Right.
And he can't get a job.
No.
Yeah.
So it's a sad thing for the Sutton family and that man right now, and I don't see him in Honolulu blue again.
And look, and I brought up this point yesterday, Anson. This is an older story, but in terms of the Lions support, people are asking, well, if they say they were with their guys, if they say they love their guys, then they can't judge their guys in the worst moment. So it's not about judging your guys in the worst moment. Sometimes you have to make decisions that you feel like can help that guy's life. Chris Carter, first 4 years in the league, was amazing with the Philadelphia Eagles, but he was addicted to crack, addicted to cocaine. He talks about this, so I'm not bringing some hidden evidence. Dick Vermeil said it's going to be a hard decision, young man, but I'm cutting you. He said, I'm going to cut you so that you can see that this is serious, and maybe you change your life. He changed his life. He went to Minnesota. He never drank, never did drugs again. Obviously, we know he had a Hall of Fame career. Sometimes showing someone that support is, hey, look, I need to let you know how serious this is. We got to cut you, and hopefully us pushing you out the door will help you in this moment get the help you need.
No question, man. Hey, not CJGJ. He left a couple of weeks ago, right? He signed with the Philadelphia Eagles. So his number was up for grabs. Guess who grabbed it? Hendon Hooker will now be number 2. Number 2.
Same number he wore at
Tennessee?
At Tennessee.
He was 5.
No, he was 5. He's the reverse.
He's back to the single digits at least.
Yeah.
He looks like a better 2 than he was a.
It's getting closer to that 1. He went from 1-2 to 2.
Yeah.
He's hoping for that 1.
Now there's a 1.
Enough.
Cam Sutton wore the 1.
That's right.
How soon before someone grabs that 1? I mean, that's probably not a good thing to say right now, though. That number 1 might be available for Jamison Williams.
It's going to be available.
I agree with you, Anson. That numbers come and due. I was just about to say, man, Jamison Williams for that number 1. I think it would be, hear me out. I think it would be dope. I think we had the first year Jamison Williams where he's injured, he's rehabbing, he's trying to get on the field, he scores 1 touchdown. You have the offseason, you have the gambling, you have the comeback. Then when he finally gets on the field, he's iffy. There's some stories here. He's on the judgment machine. He's dropping passes. But then he finishes with 2 touchdowns in the NFC Championship game. He had some drops, but he still scored 2 touchdowns at a major time. This is a rebirth with the number that got him drafted 12th overall in 2022. I like it.
Could happen.
It's the rebirth.
I mean,
plus he'd
that
get rid of
be vacated soon enough.
You'd get rid of the Matt Stafford number 9 too, then, which would be nice.
This is true.
Right?
This is true.
I got no love for that man anymore.
What a shame.
Bringing up source man. Maz, where do you want to go? Because I'm interested in that 2021 class piece. Do you want to take a break?
Do that. We can do that right now, and then Nael Ruhl's going to come up in a little bit.
Okay, let's do that. Let's take the 2021, take a break, and then get Nael Ruhl on.
All right, let's roll it.
Let's roll it. So
the 2021 quarterback draft class.
And this is supposed to
take a look at this
highly touted. You're talking about the number 1 overall was Trevor Lawrence. You look at Zach Wilson. Zach Wilson was drafted number 2 overall out of BYU. They thought he was going to be a phenom, a stud. The freaking San Francisco 49ers gave up 3 first-rounders for Trey Lance out of the same school of not Josh Allen, but Carson Wentz, thought that he was going to be the next one. Justin Fields, 11th overall to Chicago Bears. You saw the success that he had at Ohio State. And Mac Jones, coming off the national championship win against, I think, Justin Fields. This was supposed to be in the class. Trevor Lawrence, national championship winner. Mr. Clemson, 2-time national championship winner. 3 of these guys don't even play for their teams anymore. It's only been 4 years, Anson. And then these two, I just found out that Trevor Lawrence has the same exact numbers that Daniel Jones has. Yeah, the same exact numbers. And then Zach Wilson, well,
he has a play. They both have a playoff win too. That's right. That's funny. They both have a playoff win.
I didn't believe in any of these guys coming out.
Yeah. What about start with Trevor Lawrence? Let's see, where are you with Trevor Lawrence's career? He has 1 playoff win. It was in a hell of a comeback against the Los Angeles Chargers. Justin Herbert. It was amazing. But a lot of regression is in.
Oh, yeah. He, to me, is Matt Stafford AFC.
That's right.
The tools are there. My problem with him is his lack of engagement, his lack of emotion. What I watched the entire time that Stafford was playing was a guy named Aaron Rodgers politicking every second on the field. You know, whether it was with his own guys, whether it was with the referees. The guy was in it all the time. Yeah. Stafford, I'm not going to say that the guy, wasn't a tough guy. We saw him out there with broken ribs. He played through it. But he was just disengaged. Yeah. And what I see from Trevor Lawrence is a likable guy with a lot of tools, but he's just kind of aloof, When you look at the guy next to him, we got Steve Young out of Brigham Young. And then there's Ty Detmer and a whole bunch of other people that were hopefuls and
Jim
never
McMahon,
have been good.
Don't forget.
I just didn't understand any of this draft at all, to be quite honest with you. The Trey Lance thing just blew my mind. I watch a lot of film on these guys because of my dynasty football stuff. I love my positional players, my offensive positional players. I hated this entire class. I still think Justin Fields leaving Chicago was Chicago's gravest mistake of this offseason. Because you guys know how I feel about Caleb, and you know how change affects a team. You're going to watch him go. They might sit him for half the season so they don't have to give up that 4th-round pick. But Justin Fields will be starting in black and yellow soon enough. That's the only guy worth anything out of those 5. I'm sorry. I got to take it back. T-Law, I don't even like calling him that. I don't think he deserves that nickname. It sounds too cool. But T-Law has a future in this league. I think he'll be playing for a while, but the way that people embrace and jock the Jags, I told everybody they weren't going to make the playoffs. Nobody believed me here or elsewhere. I like seeing that him exposed because that team has a lot of pieces, especially on the defensive side.
He played hurt too, man.
I don't believe in him, bro.
Let me give you some pushback.
I don't believe in him.
Let me give you some pushback just for a second. All right, here we go. Trevor Lawrence's numbers aren't good. You look at the 4-year period, his numbers aren't good. They stack up with Daniel Jones. That tells you enough right there. With that being said, first year he was in the league, who was his head coach? It was Urban Meyer. You saw that Urban Meyer deal was a you-know-what type of show. It was all over. He wasn't flying back with the team. How is that going to be your leader? The offense was horrible. Urban wasn't there. He was there to get the offense intact. Clearly he didn't do that. This is his first learning experience. Then you bring in Doug Peterson, Super Bowl winner. Doug Peterson was great at quarterbacks when he had Frank Reich. No longer has Frank Reich. Got fired in Philly. Hasn't been the same. And I've seen Justin Lawrence go backwards. Like their defense is a mess. They draft Trayvon Walker first overall as opposed to drafting some offensive tackle that could help the Jacksonville Jaguars. So to your point, his numbers haven't performed, but I think he's also been in terrible situations with Doug Peterson, and the first coach was Urban Meyer. What about that, though?
Aren't 25 to 27 of the quarterbacks drafted over the last 10 years entering bad situations? You look at Stafford. Stafford had a carousel of coaches as well. It's a similar situation for him. And what I want to see out of my number 1 pick is I want them to overcome all of that stuff. I want him to be bigger than the problems with the team. And that's why you were drafted number 1, is to silence the criticism, to make the fans happy, and to bring some wins in. Now, he started a trend in that direction. He's a solid quarterback. He's top half in the league, I think. But he's not a guy that I'm going to pin any Super Bowl hopes on anytime soon.
Hey, listen, I'm going to stick up for Trevor Lawrence. First of all, the Jacksonville Jaguars are not a great franchise. They are.
Amen.
They're a horrible franchise. So that's the first thing. He's playing for a team that's traveling all over the freaking world.
True.
His offensive line wasn't very good. Running game could have been better. Etienne, I don't know if he got the ball enough. Wide receivers were so-so. This guy played on one leg the second half of the season last year, and they were going nowhere. This was a team that was heavily favored to win the AFC South. Little did anyone know how good the Houston Texans were going to come out and be. So I'm going to believe in him. Now, you're comparing him to Matthew Stafford. First of all, you said Matthew Stafford was disengaged. I never saw a guy more engaged with his team than Matthew Stafford. I don't know what Stafford you're looking at, because I disagree with you there.
Ooh,
I mean, I truly disagree with you there.
It bothered me his entire career here.
He always stood up, always was on the referees, always was on his
with
players.
the referees, I never saw him politicking. I never saw him. I just saw him on to the next play.
You don't remember him in the 2014 playoff against the Cowboys? Yapping at the ref? How could you do that? How do you take that down? How do you change that play? Come
The
on,
one
man.
time,
He
sure.
talked more than Jim Caldwell did. Jim Caldwell was just fiddling with his radio.
His career, I felt that he was always just a little, okay.
No.
All right, on to the next play.
That guy had brass balls.
Brass balls, I'll give you. Brass balls,
So,
I'll give you.
know,
but
and if you want to compare him to Trevor Lawrence, I think that's a great comparison. Trevor Lawrence should want to be Matthew Stafford, a Super Bowl champion.
Absolutely.
A guy that was on a team going nowhere for all those years.
A future Hall of Famer.
I'm just saying, Trevor Lawrence is a lot better than you give him credit for, and I guarantee you the Jags will be playing for a playoff this year in the South.
I want to make it more about Trevor Lawrence than it needs to be. Just that going back to that draft, those 5 quarterbacks, man. To your point, outside Trevor Lawrence, he was a national championship winner, and Justin Fields. Look, I thought Justin Fields was the first quarterback that I saw at Ohio State that wasn't a systematic quarterback where he's throwing, wide receiver screens outside the guys that are 4-2 and they're taking off, and they have the benefit of 2 running backs that both go over 1,000. Justin Fields is the first guy that I said, no, he can actually pass. He hits the seams. He looks the safeties off. Those 2 I thought would be fine. The other 3, I was like, who the hell is Zach Wilson? I said, this guy's he's 5'1".
How is he going ahead of Justin Fields?
It's like, who is this other guy? Trey Lance? How old is he?
Yeah.
How many games did he play in?
Right.
But that is also, Maz, tell me if I'm wrong, that's the NFL. Everybody's looking for that diamond in the rough quarterback. Everybody's trying to find
Desperately.
Desperate. But it shows you how hard it is to find a quarterback. And it always goes back to the Jared Goff conversation.
I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just believe Trevor Lawrence will bounce back this year. I'm going to stick with that.
All right.
I'm sorry. I was texting with Nael Ruhl, so I kind of lost my train of thought.
How many
You'll have to
quarterbacks
forgive me. He's trying to buzz in. He's trying to buzz in.
I'm just curious how many you think we'll see go in that first round this year. Because there's been similar buzz. I've been arguing with my one buddy, and he's like, well, they shouldn't go. It doesn't matter whether these guys should go in the first round. Teams are so desperate for quarterbacks that they do dumb stuff like draft Zach Wilson number 2. I know we've got a topic here where we're looking at possibly 1 through 4. So who fills in after that? You've got Penix. You've got. I think Bo Nix has kind of embarrassed himself through this, this pre-draft process. But, there's a lot of guys that didn't even think that your boy JJ would even be in this draft, and now,
he looks like number 3.
Could be number 2.
Nah.
Who knows?
Nah, because he's not going to get drafted in front of Caleb Williams, and he won't get drafted in front of Jaden Daniels. But now Drake May, 100%. Because at the end of the day, when you get to this point, Anson, it's who a team falls in love with.
Sure.
And that's how you turn the tide. Look, you can turn the film on of Drake May and J.J. McCarthy. You're going to see a lot better things, you know what I'm saying, J.J. McCarthy, in terms of the winning. You turn Drake May on, he's taller. He's 6'5". He's a prototypical height. He can move a little bit. But I didn't see anything special out of him this year.
Well, he regressed big time.
100%. And so now it gets to the point, who do I like? Like, who do I fall in love with? And J.J. McCarthy, these Michigan guys know how to win you over, man. Harbaugh teaches that in spades, and all the Michigan guys, they will win you over at the in those interviews. And I think that's what happens in this point in time. Owners fall in love with players. Because I remember when I got drafted, the owner wanted me. Like Romeo Crennel, head coach.
Hey, Braylon.
Braylon. He's the defensive coordinator for those Patriot championships, the first couple out the gate. He's now the head coach. He wanted a defensive player. And this is what he's done best. He wanted a defensive player. He didn't want to wide out. He's an older man and grew up in an older era. We don't understand why we need a wide receiver. The owner wanted me, and so that's why I got drafted. But we're going to take a quick commercial break because we have the main man, Nael Ruhl, and he's going to tell us about Oakland versus Kentucky tonight. Pete, I think we're going to Big Boy and Maz. And there it is, Big Boy.
How about it, man? We got it going. Seafood Fest is back at Big Boy. Catch it while you can. You want to dive into those fish and chips, their new Parmesan-crusted cod, and, of course, the Big Boy must. You got to try the mango iced tea, the ultimate complement to the popcorn shrimp. Every day is a fish fry at Big Boy. And don't forget, every Friday night, that is tomorrow, it is the all-you-can-eat seafood buffet at Big Boy.
And if you're tired of wearing the same old Detroit sports merch, you can log on right now to woodwardsports.com, click on shop. The hoodies, the tees, and the hats that are guaranteed to turn heads. Also, check out the new Red Wings one. We have the LFGRW. You know what that stands for. Grab that hoodie. It's a beautiful hoodie. Right now, go to woodwardsports.com and click on shop. We'll be right back after these messages.
Every year, after a cold and dreary winter, Metro Detroiters come together for two things: Tigers baseball and the best damned party in the world. A new season of Tigers baseball is here, and we're bringing in the new season as only Woodward Sports knows how. Broadcasting live from the biggest party. It's the Grand Slam Festival at the Detroit Opera House. Come party with 4,000 Detroit sports fans, starting with Wake Up Woodward and rolling into Big D Energy. This is a party you don't want to miss, with Detroit's best DJs, food trucks, and of course, shots. Get your tickets now at GrandSlamFest.com. 21 plus. See you April 5th at the Grand Slam Fest.
Where's the most convenient place to get that big fitness energy?
It's Planet Fitness.
Join today for just $1 down, $10 a month. With over 2,400 locations and equipment for every workout, you can get in, get energized, and get going. And with free fitness training and most clubs open 24 hours, everyone belongs in the judgment-free zone. So join today for $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment, cancel anytime.
Big Boy Seafood Fest is sailing in with a fresh catch of favorites. Dive into fish and chips, our new palm-crusted cod, perfectly fried clam shrimp platter, or a delicious fish sandwich. Try our new mango iced tea, the ultimate complement to our popcorn shrimp, our all-new fried pickles, shrimp alfredo, or shrimp stir-fry. Experience all the sea has to offer every Friday night with our all-you-can-eat seafood buffet. Every day is a fish fry, only at Big Boy.
You smell that? That's Brad Holmes cooking, and the off-season smells good. Woodward Sports.
All right, now what happens when you run a great business for over 50 years? That's right, you expand and you offer more products to more people. This is exactly what Les Stanford did by adding Les Stanford Buick and GMC. The same great service that customers have come to know and trust on Woodward, just south of 9 Mile. Check out Les Stanford in Dearborn today at lesstanford.com. lesstanford.com. Let's drive.
Let's drive
together. You know what time it is. Bringing in our guy, man, Nael Ruhl, Big D Energy, 11-1. You can find him. He is amazing, working alongside Darren McCarty. He is in Pittsburgh. He's about to tell us what Oakland and Grizzlies are going to do to the Kentucky.
He's the voice of the Grizz.
Wildcats. He's the voice. Nael Ruhl, what's up, buddy?
Hey, Neil, you there?
And we'll figure it out.
Hold on, we're not hearing you.
There he is. There we go. What's going on, my guy?
What's up, man?
We got you in the Undertaker. Put your face on the Undertaker right now. I like it right now. What's going on in Pittsburgh, sir?
It's hype. It's hype, man. It's the NCAA Tournament. It's March Madness. It's one of the biggest sporting events in the year, and Oakland University's involved, and they're playing the Blue Blood in Kentucky, and this is the NCAA Tournament, right? Yeah. Oakland University, Kentucky. We got a shot. The March Madness, all of it, the highest stakes. It's great, man. This is a ton of fun.
Now, real quick before we get into the game and we get into the tournament. Now, you being the voice, sitting down, you're going to have to be there early. You're going to have to be a part of Oakland. What are you allowed to do? Is there anything that you're allowed to do, or are you going to be with the team the majority of the time?
No, I travel with the team. I come down here with the team. I'll be eating with the team as soon as we hang up here. I'm an employee. I'm in here. This is how we work. So we'll go to the arena together. The police escort, the whole 9 yards, man. And then you can catch the game tonight, by the way, on the Varsity app. It's a Westwood. Westwood One owns all the radio streaming rights to everything. So if you want to listen to the game, you can. Just get the Varsity app, search Oakland, click on it, and go. And hopefully hear the call of the Golden Grizzlies shocking the college basketball world and beating the big, bad, mighty Kentucky Wildcats.
We definitely put the Varsity app up on the screen right now so people can see how to download that app and they can get tuned into the Grizzlies tonight. Neil, let's start it off. Look, you get into the tournament, you got a chance. That's just how it goes. We've seen over and over again, time and time again, a team that is ready, play together to win. Tell us why the Oakland Grizzlies, who, by the way, just letting you know, I picked in a 50K challenge bracket as well as a family bracket.
Okay, Braylon.
I put my money where my mouth is. I chose the Grizzlies. But tell us why the Grizzlies have a chance to beat this Wildcat team coached by John Calipari.
Braylon Edwards rolling with the Golden Grizzlies.
Yeah.
Bracket. I like it, man. I like it. Let's go, Braylon.
Let's do it, man.
Bottom line, it's like this, right? As far as Oakland's concerned, they have the components. You know, you have your conference player of the year in Trey Townsend that had a performance in the conference championship game, the level that college basketball, quite frankly, has barely ever seen. There's a list of 2 guys in conference championship play in the history of the NCAA that have gone for 35 or more points, 10 or more rebounds, and played 40 minutes. It's Kevin Durant and Trey Townsend. That's it. That's the list. So you have your player, the pride of Oxford High School, in Trey Townsend. You got guards that can shoot it, Jack Golke and also, of course, Blake Lampman, Mr. Oakland as well. They're all fifth-year guys. And, Braylon, I'll put this on you. See, here's the deal.
Okay.
And it's true, right? Kentucky Wildcats, it's a roster full of Ferraris, a number 2 overall recruit, the number 13 overall recruit, the number 25 overall recruit. Their 6th man could be the number 1 overall pick in the draft, will definitely be probably the highest American player picked in the draft in Reed Shepherd.
Yeah.
I understand all that. But what do all those guys have in common? They're all 18-year-old freshmen, man. Like, that's the way they are. We got graduate guys that are 22, 23 years old. And, Braylon, I'll put it on you, man. The 23-year-old versus an 18-year-old, I know they're super talented and they're going to the league and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
There is something to that, Braylon, is there not? You tell me.
No, there is. You know, at 22, 23, you learn the skills over the time. You learn how to win. I think that's the big deal. When you're 18, a lot of talent, a lot of potential, a lot of athletic God-given ability, but you don't know how to win. You don't know how to work the situation necessarily. So that's when you see teams like St. Pete's, who Maz actually went to St. Pete's. That's how you see a St. Pete's beat a Purdue team. That's how you see some of these upsets in the past because they know how to work together. They know how to win.
No, and that is the case, and it's something that's very, very big. And I think that was kind of the opposite end of with the transfer portal and how everybody predicted the doom of college sports with the transfer portal.
Yeah.
If anything, it's kind of even the talent out because mid-major teams are able to dip into that transfer portal and get bounce backs from Power Fives or go to Division II. Like Jack Golke was a Division II player, and now he's coming in and he's making a ton of threes, and he's had big time games. I mean, his very first game at Oakland, he had 18 points at Ohio State and made 6 threes. So the 3-point line's a great equalizer as well. Now, for Kentucky, they're the number 1 3-point shooting team in the nation.
Yeah, they are.
They're over 41%. They're over 41% as a team. I talked about Reed Shepherd, and you know he's shooting 53% from 3 on the year. 53% from 3. I mean, it's absurd what he's doing, what this team is doing. And Braylon, you brought him up. You know, John Calipari. Here's a funny thing about Calipari, right? Like, no one since he got to Kentucky, no coach in college basketball has more Final Fours. No coach in college basketball has more Elite Eights. No college coach in college basketball has more Sweet 16s. He's second in league tournament titles. You know, he's won 6 SEC tournament titles, 3rd in regular season titles. Yet Kentucky fans, if Oakland wins this game, there will be a large segment, and St. Peter's played a part in this in the past when they beat Kentucky. There will be a segment of Kentucky fans that want John Calipari fired. Like, those are the stakes that are on the line, and that's what makes this stuff great, man. Just massive stakes, big-time money for teams that win. You get paid out units when you win in the NCAA tournament. There's big-time money on the line. It's the ultimate stakes.
Hey, Neil, 160.5 is the over-under. What kind of game am I looking for tonight? Am I betting the over here? Because they're going to go up and down the court, these teams.
I think as far as that goes, Maz, it's one of those things where if things go Oakland's way, that total should be way under.
Oh.
If things go Kentucky's way,
I see.
That total might go over, but it might not. I mean, 160, you're talking 80 points aside.
Yeah.
You're looking at if Kentucky wins 90-60 or 90-70, you're still, the under's still the hit.
Yep.
I mean, and Kentucky's a massively powerful offense, but you can only score if you got the ball. And I think that's going to be the biggest game plan for the Golden Grizzlies is, look, is there a talent disparity? Yes, that's fair to say. If you don't believe me, you can watch the NBA draft coming up at the end of June. But with all that being said, they cannot score as great as they are if they do not have the basketball. So I think that's probably the game plan that Oakland will look to take.
All right, I'm betting the under then. I'm taking Oakland and the under. That's what I'm looking for. I want them to dirty up the game like the Devils did back in 1995.
Yeah, they whooped them in.
A guy, too, that no one talks about a lot that's going to make a difference in this game tonight for Oakland, especially if things go their way, is Rocket Watts. And, Michigan State fans obviously remember. Yeah, people remember Rocket Watts. And, he transferred to Mississippi State and had a very, very tough hip injury where, muscles kind of separated from the bone and stuff like that. And, it hurt his career. Like, make no bones about that. Like, it hurt his career. But what he can still do, he can still defend on ball. And that is something where tonight, that's going to be critical. And Rocket Watts defensively will have to play a big part in this game if Oakland's going to win.
All right, Neil, before we let you go, we got to ask you a question about the tournament in itself. Who are your Final Four, and who do you have winning, if not the Oakland Grizzlies?
Yeah, obviously, if it's not going to be Oakland.
Take Oakland. You can take Oakland out.
Okay, we'll take Oakland out.
Yeah.
I have a hard time, and I know this is super hard to do, and it's tough for teams to do. But UConn, and for the record, I gave out UConn last year.
Yeah.
I told the people on Big D Energy, I said, hey, put a little sugar on UConn. They're 30-1, man. Take a spin. And we got some tweets and stuff like that to, people took it, and they were able to make a couple dollars on that one. But it's tough. It's tough to not say UConn. I think that they have a pretty good road up until they get to Auburn. So, they have a very good road, a very good pathway to the Final Four. And it's just, once you get past them, and look, I think Michigan State, and contrary to belief, when I did the show earlier this week, and Michigan State fans killed me for talking about how they have a shot to do something. I said, I'm like, why aren't you guys like engaged and involved? You'll get a chance to square up with North Carolina. And Michigan State can beat them. Like, North Carolina's not infallible. There's not a one seed out there that's infallible. I know a lot of people talk about Houston and things like that, but I just don't buy in. Purdue will always Purdue because they're Purdue, and they'll go Purdue. Yeah. And they got a light load going in too, but watch out for TCU if they have to play Purdue. You don't want what TCU represents. McNeese State is up there too. They're going to beat Gonzaga. I think Kansas is compromised because they're hurt, and then South Carolina, Oregon's actually playing here in Pittsburgh. They're the game before we play, as a matter of fact. But yeah, I don't see teams that are on UConn's level. I just don't.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what I would see. And the Final Four is a mixing bowl, man. Like it's almost a fool's task to predict who's going to be there.
So, Neil, Oakland will get Texas Tech winner with North Carolina State. I like the Wolfpack to win a few games, by the way. What do you like in that game tonight?
Yeah, it's funny because we talked about Oakland in the draw. So we get Kentucky, and in our pod, as you just talked about, you have Texas Tech, who finished 4th in the Big 12. The Big 12 where Kansas finished 6th.
Yes.
And then we have
Horrible.
the team that won the ACC tournament.
Won about 18 games, 16 games.
In 16 days,
yeah.
Too. Like, they played 5 games in 5 days, man. So it's just it's like what I talked about though with the Michigan State people. Like, everyone gets in awe of the totality of the tournament. You're only playing the team that's in front of you. Like, you're not going to play 65 of these teams, So everybody freaks out about where everybody is and stuff like that. all you got to do is play the team in front of you, man. I know that's kind of cliche in coach speak, but that's the NCAA tournament.
You heard it from Nael Ruhl, play the team in front of you, and for the Oakland Grizzlies, it is the Kentucky Wildcats.
Hey,
Neil,
Pittsburgh's a great city, by the way. Neil's in there. Have you seen all the Pittsburgh Steelers stores that are out there, Neil?
Oh, dude, Pittsburgh's a lot like Milwaukee.
It's amazing.
I think people sleep on Pittsburgh. Yeah, they sleep on Pittsburgh, man. Pittsburgh's cool. They got a good bar district. Not that I know.
Do.
I might know, but they do, you know. I was told they do.
They do.
Plead the fifth, Nael Ruhl.
I need you to bring me home a Justin Fields T-shirt, Steelers T-shirt. What do you think?
A little jersey?
Yeah.
You want the Justin Fields
Give me a
jersey?
jersey. Give me a Justin Fields Steelers jersey.
If you wear a Justin Fields jersey, man, me and you will no longer be friends.
Come on, man.
No, not at all. Not happening. You can catch him 11-1 on Big D Energy. He is Nael Ruhl, the voice of Oakland Grizzlies. Hey, Neil, go Grizzlies. We'll catch
Good
you
luck,
later, man.
Neil.
There you go, Braylon. Appreciate you, Maz. Appreciate
Enjoy.
you.
Enjoy.
Enjoy.
And
Yeah,
if you,
man. No, we will.
And maybe you get a chance to go down to that college district. If so facto, we won't tell anybody.
You can bring us home a couple of those wax cups, the NCAA wax cups that they give you.
Okay, would you stop trying to ask for
All right.
Get out of here. We'll talk to you later, Neil. We'll talk
Everybody,
to you later.
the varsity app.
Yes, sir. Varsity app tonight. We already showed it to
call.
everyone.
Yeah.
We got you, buddy.
Yeah, we appreciate you.
We got you.
All right, man. We'll talk soon.
Have
Not a
fun.
problem. He's Nael Ruhl, voice of Big D Energy.
You don't want a wax cup?
No, I don't want any wax cups. You know what? We'll get our own wax cups because we'll
That's
be
right.
here.
We're going. We're going.
We're
there.
going. So we don't need them from Kentucky. We don't need them from Pittsburgh because we have them right here. Let's take a commercial break. Let's talk about a little bit of what we talk about. Let's get into some football and also in the NBA. There's some crazy things going on, including one guy who now has 50 30-point games this season. We'll talk about that in a minute. But first, let's get a message from Swiss.
That's right. I have good news and I have bad news. The bad news is insurance rates are going up across the board in Michigan. The good news is Swiss Insurance is here to help. Right now, more than ever, it is critical for you to have your insurance reviewed, and Swiss will make sure that your carrier does not slip in extra fees or raise deductibles. Call Mark at Swiss Insurance today or visit SwissINS.com and tell them Woodward Sports sent you. Also, what happens when you see that black and yellow sign out in front of your house? It tells the bad guys, and especially Maz, one thing:
stay out.
That's right. It's a new year. Let Guardian Alarm offer you customized solutions from real experts, 24/7 professional monitoring, and technology backed by people. Your safety and security deserves technology that's been proven to work and by people who have been proven to care. Call 1-800.
Stay out.
That's 1-800.
Stay out.
Call them today and tell them Woodward Sports sent you. We'll be right back.
Every year, after a cold and dreary winter, Metro Detroiters come together for two things: Tigers baseball and the best damned party in the world. A new season of Tigers baseball is here, and we're bringing in the new season as only Woodward Sports knows how. Broadcasting live from the biggest party. It's the Grand Slam Festival at the Detroit Opera House. Come party with 4,000 Detroit sports fans, starting with Wake Up Woodward and rolling into Big D Energy. This is a party you don't want to miss, with Detroit's best DJs, food trucks, and of course, shots. Get your tickets now at GrandSlamFest.com. 21 plus. See you April 5th at the Grand Slam Fest.
Big Boy Seafood Fest is sailing in with a fresh catch of favorites. Dive into fish and chips, our new palm-crusted cod, perfectly fried clam shrimp platter, or a delicious fish sandwich. Try our new mango iced tea, the ultimate complement to our popcorn shrimp, our all-new fried pickles, shrimp alfredo, or shrimp stir fry. Experience all the sea has to offer every Friday night with our all-you-can-eat seafood buffet. Every day is a fish fry, only at Big Boy.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side. Woodward Sports.
The most convenient place to get that big fitness energy?
It's Planet Fitness.
Join today for just $1 down, $10 a month. With over 2,400 locations and equipment for every workout, you can get in, get energized, and get going. And with free fitness training and most clubs open 24 hours, everyone belongs in the judgment-free zone. So join today for $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment, cancel anytime.
Winning is a habit. So is listening daily to Woodward Sports. We're glad you're a winner, and thanks for listening.
Hey guys, awesome is when a guy can be a guy and get an amazing haircut. That's Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Just sit back and relax. Let one of their talented stylists make you look and feel great. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's, it is wicked awesome.
All right, wicked awesome. Welcome back to Ermanni and Edwards with Maz. Anson Wells filling in for Ryan Ermanni, having a good time on the show. He's rocking his Michigan State t-shirt. Because the Spartans just beat the Mississippi State Bulldogs in the first round. So good kudos. Because, I mean, at the end of the day, like you said the other day, and we crack jokes, this time of year is Izzo time. So you get a win, you start gaining momentum. They can do a lot of things. So,
well, I got a question. As Big Ten people, I would like to ask Neil this.
The support.
How do you feel about the Big Ten's chances in the NCAA tournament? Because I don't feel great.
Yeah,
don't feel great.
Big Ten wasn't very good this year, and their chances in the tournament, I don't like them at all. I think Wisconsin maybe can surprise some people. I think they might have the best chance. We know what Purdue is going to do. Purdue, even though Edie won Player of the Year, I think for the second time, Purdue's going to Purdue. They're Purdue. Like, it just is what it is, and I know everybody wants them to. I know everybody wants them to be the UVA, where UVA kept going number 1 seed. Then they got bounced as a number 1 seed in the first round a couple years ago, and then the next year they came back and won the whole thing. I just don't see that out of Purdue. I just think their coach doesn't know how to win in the tourney.
Yeah, their system is great to win regular season games, but when you go up against the athletes and ballers that you're going to see in March, it doesn't translate. It's like the old Wisconsin teams that the Spartans beat 20 years ago. Could defend, could hit the outside shot, but when you
What's his name, Decker?
Yeah, when you go up against teams like that in the tourney, you're just talking about guys that are going to be in the NBA in a couple of months, going up against guys that are playing super system basketball that works, but not in March.
All right, let's switch gears for a second. Let's get to the NBA, which I know everybody's like, wait, what? They're talking basketball? Yes, today we're talking basketball. Tom Masway, you put a story on here. Kevin Durant.
Yes, sir.
Of the Phoenix Suns, championship 2-time MVP, playing with the Warriors. Durantula or Slim Reaper as my favorite.
I like the Slim Reaper.
Slim Reaper's the one.
Yep.
He has just passed Shaq for 8th all-time on the NBA scoring list. It's so interesting, the Kevin Durant dynamic. I bring it to you. He's also plays for the Phoenix Suns, who are number 8 right now. They're starting to find their way now that Bradley Beal is healthy. They're 8th in the West. Kevin Durant still 27.7 points a game, 6.7 rebounds, and then 6 assists a night. He's just so consistent. But where does he stack up for you on kind of like that all-time list? Like, has he cracked your 15? Has he cracked your 10? With it, I mean, hey, he's a guy that has two Finals MVPs.
I love that you bring this up because I've been talking about it a lot lately because of Mr. Victor Wembanyama. This guy's going to go down. KD's going to go down just like Tim Duncan did. Kind of forgotten. One of the greatest to ever play the game, but kind of forgotten. You got to look at the stages. You had Jordan. You had a guy that played in an era where he got beaten into the ground, and he overcame that through will and through heart, determination. But he changed the NBA because they wanted it to be more offensive. Yeah. They actually changed the rules to help Jordan win more championships. That's where they wanted the NBA to go. Then you see almost 20 years later a guy named LeBron James.
You're a true Pistons fan. I love it.
Oh, yeah. But LeBron James comes in.
Because I heard that Jordan comment. You peeped it, man.
Yeah.
Well,
I got it.
We beat his ass. But that's
the Jordan rules.
But
I love it.
But he was the GOAT because he got through the Pistons.
Right.
You get LeBron, who grew up in the Jordan-affected era, the Jordan-affected NBA. Yeah. That's why when you see him get, he flops and he cries and he pouts when he doesn't get, things going his way at the end of playoff games. But he's 6'9" versus the 6'6" Jordan. And now all of a sudden, the last 10, 15 years, you've seen guys like KD come into the league. These guys like the unicorn last year.
Giannis is another guy. Jokic.
All of these guys that can shoot threes that are long and slim and not traditional 6'11" bodied, or guys that are playing like old school centers. What you're seeing now is the KD effect manifesting in guys like Chet Holmgren and even more so in Victor Wembanyama.
Yeah.
The entire league has changed. 7-footers don't play inside anymore. So even though KD, I think, will go down a little forgotten in comparison to these other greats as to how truly special he has been, I mean, his longevity, his health, and his rings, he's got them. But what you're seeing in Victor Wembanyama right now, and even to, I hate to say, lesser degree, Chet Holmgren, is the next evolution. 20 years later, the greatest prep, He's from overseas, but the greatest prep that we're seeing is just absolutely assaulting and taking over the NBA right now in Victor Wembanyama. And that we have Kevin Durant to thank for.
Yeah, 100%. Kevin Durant, he's one of, like you said, that guy, lanky guy. You look at his efficiency from outside, the guy is very efficient. Like Kevin Durant will take 12 shots and have 29 points.
Yep.
Like that's the type of game he plays, man. And you're talking those Giannis players. Giannis kind of crafted his game to be more like KD, Chet Holmgren. That's what I wanted here. You remember that draft, man? I wanted Chet Holmgren bad. I thought he was one of those guys that changed the game. And Wembanyama,
OKC is a real deal, by the way.
They are. And speaking of OKC, speaking of scores.
Love to talk about them.
Don't skip over the Shaq yet. After
you got me excited talking about
right.
OKC and the score.
Don't skip
about,
over
we
yet.
do have video from Shaq after KD passed him for 8th overall.
And he put it up in the arena as well. Check it out.
First of all, I want to say congratulations for passing me to become 8th on the NBA's all-time scoring list. Well deserved. But it doesn't stop here. I'll probably see if you can get to number 1. Anyway, I'm happy for you. Tell your lovely mother I said hello. And congratulations, brother. Job well done. I knew it was going to get done. If anybody was going to pass you, it's definitely going to be you. Tarantula.
Pretty cool, huh?
One thing about it, you got to love Shaq. Like, I don't care who you are, what color you are, I don't care where you're from. Like Shaq is Shaq. Like, there are a few personalities that will last through the test of time, and it's just etched in stone. Is like those type of people. Man, Shaq's a great guy. He gives to people. He's a business mind. He reinvents himself all the time. He's goofy. Shaq's dope. And to be on there talking, giving love to a younger player that just passed you. A lot of these old guys, like when you pass them, they feel a type of way. They start acting weird. So the fact that Shaq does that. But also, Shaq's got 4 rings and KD's got 2. That's why he ain't tripping.
Yeah. Well, and their son's alumni.
Yeah.
Shaq wants to be back in the league. He's sitting there looking at Gobert's numbers, and he could do that right now. His personality is as big as his play was. That's another guy. Who would Shaq be in this era right now? You look at Zach Edey, obviously not Shaq, but you look at these big guys, and they say that they could play right now, but how effective would Shaq be in today's NBA?
It's interesting because I saw that question too. I don't know, because we have footage of when Shaq was 38. We saw him playing with the Cleveland Cavaliers and with the Celtics and what he was doing in 38. So him saying 45 in this era, I'm like, Shaq, I saw you at 38, and I saw you let yourself go. I'm guessing he's saying if he's healthy.
Wasn't a whole lot of lift.
There was no lift. Like, you can legitimately probably.
Looking like Lambeer jumping.
Yeah, so, I understand that. I understand these old guys that get up there, they start thinking about, these guys can't do this, and I would, get them into pain and slow the game down. Right, these dudes are shooting you out the gym, and they're fast. And the game is faster. They're back and forth. So I love Shaq, but I saw you at 38. So I don't need to guess what you would be at 48, at 45, but I got to get to the next guy. I got to get to the next story.
Let's talk OKC.
So OKC, they have a player by the name of SGA. That stands for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
Yes, it
and
does.
he is one of those ones right now. He is in the MVP race. He ain't 3. That's all I will say. SGA is the 5th player in the last 35 seasons to drop 50 or more 30-point games. He had 50 last night in a win. He joins Michael Jordan, who did it 2 times, James Harden, Kobe Bryant, Tracy McGrady. So the list actually is 20. He's the 21st person to score 50.
But let's dive deeper.
And there's still games left. Like, he's amazing at how he plays the game. His efficiency is there.
He's shooting 54+% from the field. Okay?
This is nuts.
Basically, from week 1.
What school did he go to?
Right now, this kid.
He went to Kentucky.
He got by me, man.
He went to Kentucky.
All of a sudden, I see this guy.
He got by the Clippers, too.
Yeah, he got by me.
He got by the Clippers, too. They gave up on him. They traded him basically the way that Patino traded away Chauncey. This guy, over the entire season, from week 1, is the number 1 player over 9 stat categories in the NBA, hands down. It's not even really comparable. Embiid was having a fantastic season while he was healthy. Obviously, Luka's always there, and then the Joker, Mr. Triple-Double himself. But Shai's doing this on a team where you have the unicorn, and you have a guy, my favorite, J-Dub, Jalen Williams. Yep. Their team is stacked, and they remind me so much of the Supersonics when they had the big 3.
Peyton Kemp.
If you're able to do this. Now, I
and
wonder.
also, by the way, they're number one in the West right now to the tune of 48-20.
Yeah, and Shai is the reason.
Yeah,
They have like 38 first-round picks coming, too.
They do. This team is
this GM he's built it right,
and they are so their window is so big and they're positioned so right with these three. Can they keep them though? We already saw what happened with these other three getting split up and leaving, and I'm talking about Harden,
KD,
Westbrook,
and
KD. You know, this team, if they can keep those three together and figure out what to do with those draft picks, you could see truly a dynasty in OKC.
True, and at the end of the day, you bring up a good point talking about KD and James Harden and Westbrook, who went and played on Miami in 2013. I want to say they lost, and then they had to split up. James Harden got a ton of money from Houston. You had to split that thing up. But you look at it in terms of being beatable. I look at it. You got to win now, though, while these guys are still young.
Yep.
Just look at the West, like outside of the Nuggets. Okay, Nuggets are playing amazing. We know how they're going to play, and we know they're going to turn it up a notch in the playoffs.
Absolutely.
They're still the team to beat. I don't care about all this other stuff. The Timberwolves, I love Anthony Edwards. He's my favorite player, but I don't trust Rudy Gobert.
No.
I don't trust Cat Williams not Cat Williams. Yeah, Cat Williams in the Karl Anthony Towns, Big Cat. I don't trust him in the playoffs. You look at the Clippers. Have you ever trusted Kawhi Leonard and Paul George together? You don't trust them. The Pelicans, Zion had one dunk. I've seen Zion one time.
He's been looking a lot better. He's slimmer.
He has. Is he going to make it to the playoffs?
Teams.
Do you trust the Kings? Who took a step back? Do you trust the Suns, who's a team that can't seem to figure it out, although Bradley Beal is recently healthy? And do you trust the Warriors? They're not even in the playoffs right now. They're fighting for the play-in. And then last is the Mavericks, and I don't trust Luka as a leader and the defensive player. This is the time. This is the time for them to challenge the Denver Nuggets in the playoffs.
Who was OKC's former GM?
It escapes me.
Wasn't it our guy?
Yeah, Mr. Weaver.
Oh, Troy Weaver.
And you said they're being built right now?
Now
there's a reason for that. He ain't there.
Yeah.
He comes here. And we thought we were getting a savior. Instead, we got an anchor.
I'm not going to go on record to say that. The Killian Hayes over Halliburton.
He left OKC, and they're here.
Yeah.
He went to the Pistons. They were here. Now they're here.
Yeah, but OKC was pretty bad, and now they're there. So let's give this guy
Without him.
another year or so.
Okay.
Another year or
Give
so.
who another year?
Now, you
Give
forgot
who
a
another
team
year?
that I do trust because they got the Zebras in their pockets, and that's the Lakers. They're 3 games out. But I got to say.
Please don't make the playoffs.
I know.
I don't trust the Lakers because AD has the same pattern in the playoffs. He has one good game, one horrible game. One good game, one horrible game. You can't win like that. LeBron's been waiting for him to take over for the last 3 years. He took over a little bit last year, and he ran out of gas in the playoffs. I just don't trust AD.
Yeah, I don't either. I don't trust his health more so than him not showing up. But D'Angelo Russell's playing on another level right now.
He's got to get out of LA.
What you look at over the last 3 years in the NBA, the Lakers just get more calls than everybody else. It's in the league's interest to see them playing in May. So seeing them not in the playoffs would be shocking to me. Not seeing LeBron in the playoffs would be shocking to me. It would be a blessing. I don't like LeBaby. Let me get that out there. But the Thunder have passed everybody. The Timberwolves had a stranglehold on the West for a while. Now it's starting to settle out. The Nuggets are starting to play the way that we expect them to. I don't see anybody getting past the Nuggets again.
Look, you brought up not making the playoffs. Well, we know a team here in Detroit that's not making the playoffs.
Yes,
and it is the team that I'm representing, the Pistons. Pistons lose another one last night. They lose to the tune of 122 to 103. They're now 12-57 on the season. But that's not the main news of the night. Maz, the main news of the night is Asar Thompson out for the year being treated for a blood clot. What do we know so far?
I don't think we know much of anything, and I'm going to throw it over to our basketball expert, Anson, on this one. I don't know. How do you get a blood clot unless you've had surgery? Did he have surgery that got by me? It could have. It could have gotten by me because I really haven't paid attention to the Pistons a lot. But that's nothing to fool around with, a blood clot.
No, let me ask you, how many strokes do you remember in the NFL in your history of covering it? Because
not many.
There was 2 last year. There was also a heart attack last year. You look at the Rays. I mean, kids are dying in sports right now. They're dying on the soccer pitch all over the world. The percentage of increase in sudden heart failure for athletes is scary, and there's mass fibrin clots being found by embalmers throughout the world, all right? The fact that Bronny James had a heart murmur that got past LeBron James' medical team his whole life, crazy to me. So right now, what I'm looking at with this,
look at Shaq's son.
I'm sorry, but there's something fishy going on. A blood clot for a 19-year-old player. I mean, it's just crazy to me.
Yeah, Maz, I think I agree with that, man. There's a lot of crazy things going on. I mean, I don't know if that's exactly.
I mean, the elephant in the room is, did he get the shot for COVID? Did he get it?
Glad you said it.
Did he?
Yeah, because you had to play.
You had to.
I guess so.
Yep.
I don't know. It's not nice. It's not good. It's not a good thing. Thank God they caught it. Thank God nothing's happening to the kid and he'll be under the best medical care. I'm just saying, man. Who knows? Who knows what's happened in our world?
Okay, Pistons have 13 games left. How many of those 13 do they win? Anson, I'll start with you.
I hope none.
It doesn't matter if they get the best
we'll
record.
Get the number 5
still
pick
get
anyway,
the number 5 pick
for sure. I'd like to see a little bit of charge at the end of the season, but the more that they do that, then the more I think you call into question who is Ausar Thompson, who are these guys that weren't contributing and were playing so well at the end of this. I mean, Fontecchio and a bunch of these guys are contributing. Fournier, they're not on the roster next year unless we go out of our way to re-sign these guys. And if we do go out of our way to sign these guys, we are signing up for mediocrity for another year.
Troy Weaver.
You know, as much as the finger's pointed at Troy Weaver right now, what he has done is he's taken a terrible payroll and absolutely cleared it out to a core 6 players with the top draft pick and $60 million. So what
top draft pick will probably be still picking 5th.
Well, let's get Cody Williams here, all right? Let's just get him here. That's all I care about.
Top draft pick.
All right, look.
Should have had the top draft pick last year.
It's a weak class this year, too.
And the year.
Yeah, they robbed us.
All the years before that. But, this is Detroit. They cheat us in with the Red Wings. They cheat us with the Pistons, too. Let's take a quick break, get another commercial break in here, and then let's get back to the NFL. Because there are some stories, man, when you take us around the NFL, including something interesting with Russell Wilson and his contract and how it's set up. But first, let's hear from Premier Pet Supply.
You got it, guys. It is the best pet store, hands down, in Michigan. Premier Pet Supply. You know it. It's family-owned and operated for over 30 years, 13 Metro Detroit locations. They have over 60 brands of food at the lowest prices. Curbside delivery. They'll ring your bell, whatever you want. You got it. They got nutritionists on site, on call. Give them a call if you have any questions about your pet or their food. They got you covered. Hands down, Michigan's best pet store is PremierPetSupply.com.
Every year, after a cold and dreary winter, Metro Detroiters come together for 2 things: Tigers baseball and the best damned party in the world. A new season of Tigers baseball is here, and we're bringing in the new season as only Woodward Sports knows how. Broadcasting live from the biggest party. It's the Grand Slam Festival at the Detroit Opera House. Come party with 4,000 Detroit sports fans, starting with Wake Up Woodward and rolling into Big D Energy. This is a party you don't want to miss, with Detroit's best DJs, food trucks, and of course, shots. Get your tickets now at GrandSlamFest.com. 21 plus. See you April 5th at the Grand Slam Fest.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
You have an opinion? Make sure it's seen and heard. Corner, jumper, tweet us, hop on the YouTube chat, slide in the DMS at Woodward Sports on all social media.
Big Boy Seafood Fest is sailing in with a fresh catch of favorites. Dive into fish and chips, our new palm-crusted cod, perfectly fried clam shrimp platter, or a delicious fish sandwich. Try our new mango iced tea, the ultimate complement to our popcorn shrimp, our all-new fried pickles, shrimp alfredo, or shrimp stir-fry. Experience all the sea has to offer every Friday night with our all-you-can-eat seafood buffet. Every day is a fish fry, only at Big Boy.
You smell that? That's Brad Holmes cooking, and the off-season smells good. Woodward Sports.
Big Boy Seafood Fest is sailing in with a fresh...
Better Get crispy chicken and pizza while watching your favorite team play. Hell, if you're a Michigan State guy, then you already should have been at Soroki's as they beat Mississippi State 9-8. Soroki's is the place to go. They're popping up all over the place. The pizza is fire, and then the wings are crispy. Crispy. It's the best way to have your fried chicken. A perfect takeout option featuring hand-breaded fried chicken, New York-style pizza, salad, and sides. Check out their pizza places. They always have the best fountain.
Great fountain soda.
Look, man, just go to Sorokis.com. You fill up, and also when you go to a Soroki's, you can scan their QR code, and you can also get into. Oh, it's too late. Tournament started. Too late to do the Soroki's read, but anyway, SAROKIS.com. It's too late to get into the tournament, man. Are you confident in your picks, man?
No, not whatsoever. I am not. But 3 Big Ten teams made it. 3 Big East teams made it. You got Creighton, UConn, and Marquette. I have 2 of the 3 in my Final Four, and I almost put Creighton in there as well. So I'll see. I like Marquette a lot. I do. I like Shaka Smart, what he does. Yeah. I think he gets his team ready for the tournament. And UConn's the national champs. I think it'll be tough to beat them. I'd like to see Purdue sneak in there somehow, but like you say, they're Purdue.
They are Purdue. Speaking of the Big Ten, just get this out the way real quick. Greg Scruggs, who was defensive line coach at the University of Michigan, I know the story probably makes you laugh and smile over there, Anson, got a DUI. It was his second one. He was twice the legal limit, and today, earlier this morning, he resigned as the running back coach. As a defensive line coach. I mean, look, we knew this was going to go this way.
Yeah.
Like, Ann Arbor's not one of those type of places where they fool around with things like this. It's you can say what you want to. They thumb their nose up at things like this, and they replace it. And Jim Harbaugh even had some guys on his staff that had some things, and they were eradicated and they were removed right away. It's just the Michigan way of doing things.
You got to answer for Fredo.
Yeah.
You got to answer for Sonny.
You do.
For Santino.
100%.
You got to answer for Santino.
So is this what no tolerance actually looks like?
That's it.
Or you don't get 6 chances like Mr. Howard did?
Hey, look, man.
This dude was here for 2 weeks, man. You just got a job with the national championship Wolverines. And, listen, alcoholism is no joke. It is a real thing.
I know, but pick your phone up for crying out loud.
And it's too bad, or put your keys down. That's the thing, So I wish him all the best. Didn't know him.
Yeah.
And we won't. Nobody's really going to know him around here because he's off to hopefully greener pastures. But like you talked about, you can't enable these guys. Yeah. You got to let them know how serious it is, and you got to lay the hammer.
It sucks for him, though.
He had the dream job. He was sitting at the national championship team, like you said. Look, and this is not his first one. This is his second one. This is the third one. Oh, wow. 3 strikes, pal, and you're out. Mavs, no easy transition, as Ryan Ermanni says, but the NFL has some interesting moves and interesting things going on.
How about this, guys? We just talked about Russell Wilson last Saturday.
QB1, Pittsburgh.
Last week. He's number 1. They signed him for the league minimum, $2 million. He's already getting all that money from the Denver Broncos, so he's going to be the starting quarterback. And then Saturday comes, and all of a sudden they sign Justin Fields. They trade a 6th-round pick to the Bears for Justin Fields, which could become a 4th-round pick if he plays 51%. But did you know that the Steelers, there's some internal talk that if Russ does not perform in training camp, that they will let him go and hand the reins to Justin Fields, wearing the number 1, and for the black and gold of the Pittsburgh Steelers.
I'll take this one out the gate, pause, Anson, and I'll let you go second on this one. I love it. I love it. At the end of the day, look, they're giving Russell Wilson a place to land. They gave him QB1. They gave faith and belief in him. They told him, hey, look, you're our guy. You're going to be QB1. He signed off on Justin Fields. But at the same time, we've seen Russell Wilson not be able to be what the team needed him to be, whether it was the end of Seattle or whether it was the first year with the Broncos or whether it was in the moments like the Lions game here at Ford Field. We've seen him not be able to do it. And when he can't do it, he looks awful. It's not a situation where he just looks okay, where you can figure some things out. It just doesn't look good. And if you're the Steelers, why have an unnecessary quarterback controversy?
Absolutely.
Like if a guy is not getting it done, you're not going to put him on the bench. Justin Fields goes out there and not get it done and then come back to Russell Wilson. And you're also not doing what, Maz? You're not paying him anything. So if I'm the Steelers, I like it.
I love it for the Steelers.
Yeah.
I mean,
but why sign Russ then? You know why they signed Russ? Because they didn't believe that for a 6th-round pick, they would get a first-round talent in Justin Fields.
And he was $1.2 million. His veterans minimum to get Russ. And I believe in Mike Tomlin. The guy's always been able to develop people. He's been able to He's been able to, milk a lot out of guys towards the end of their career. But I like this, from what they spent. I mean, they got more back for Kenny Pickett. Yeah. I'll never understand how than what they gave up to get Fields.
Mr. Fake Slide.
Yeah, you pay absolutely next to nothing for Russell Wilson, and now you've kind of, even beyond having that quarterback waiting in the wings if the front guy falters, you've got a little bit of a Cordell Stewart situation. We could see Justin Fields on the field even if Russell's successful. You've got a weapon there. Yeah. So
what was his name? Cordell he had a catchy nickname.
What was his nickname? I was trying to think of it too.
What was it? It was the knife, the blade. That's kind of sus.
Well, I'll look it up here real quick.
It's like a Swiss Army knife, maybe. All right.
Somebody's in the chat.
Somebody's in the chat. Slash. Somebody in the chat, whoever said that, I appreciate it. It was Slash. Good call.
Yeah, and so I think that you look at a team that somehow with Mason Rudolph was able to get themselves into the playoffs. Yeah. Russell's not going to be asked to do everything like he was in Denver.
They're trying to rely back on the run game.
Yeah, they're going to be able to do that. He's got a premier wide receiver, which I'm really excited to see what he can do with George Pickens. But the Steelers, they're a class organization. They're one of the best franchises in the history of all sports, and they're going to get themselves back, and it's going to be one or both of these guys that help them do it.
Speaking of wide receivers, Maz, there's wide receivers signing a big one with your team and my team, the New York Jets.
That's right. It's Mike Williams. I think it's a lot of money to give Mike Williams, especially since he's going to be out until at least the beginning of the season with that ACL injury.
It's like a Marvin Jones deal. I had to overpay just to get somebody of worth there.
Yeah, this is tough. This almost kind of smells of, Odell Beckham and the Baltimore Ravens, where they paid him $15 million last year, and you're like, I don't know if he's worth it. Now, he made some catches towards the end, but I still wouldn't have given him $15 million. And the deal was actually able to be reached $18 million. $15 million, now look, he's a hell of a wide receiver. When he's healthy, Mike Williams is one of the best wide receivers, top 15, top 18 or so. He can make plays, and you need a big receiver that can get the jump ball. And I think that's actually something, Maz, and that's actually something, Anson, that I think the Lions need. I think the Lions need.
Absolutely.
You look at Amon-Ra St. Brown. You look at Jamison Williams. You look at Khalif Raymond. They're not guys that are going to go get you 50-50 balls. They're not guys that get you in the red zone where you get guys throw the quick fade. I think that's what the Jets were looking for in Mike Williams. They can throw some contested passes, and he does that well. And then you still have the blazer and the route runner that is Garrett Wilson.
Yeah, I think the Lions are going to surprise everybody, and we won't get past the third round without having selected a receiver.
Okay, I agree.
But that's absolutely something we need. We need a big-bodied receiver. You can't have all the same type of receivers. Nah. There's a lot of guys right in that category there that the Lions can take. As for the Jets, I don't get it. They're so desperate to make sure that A-Rod is the guy for that 1 year that they get him. Because they lost this last year from him, that I think that they really overspent on a guy that can't stay healthy when you're looking at a draft full of young receivers that I would rather have than Mike Williams at this point in his career.
Well, another receiver that's up there is Brandon Ayuk, a guy that killed the Lions.
Stud.
He is up for grabs, folks, and there's a team that's looking at him, and it's a team we talked about, Braylon. It's the Pittsburgh Steelers looking to get a receiver when they let Deontay Johnson go to Carolina for a pick. You got George Pickens, who's looking for someone to lead him, I guess. I don't know. He's not I'm not a fan of his, the way he acted last year, but it's all right. But if they go out and get Brandon Ayuk, I think, like I said, I think the Steelers compete for a playoff spot again.
The funny thing about it is Brandon Ayuk and Mike Tomlin look a lot alike, and that's kind of been the thing on social, is it just is a perfect match. They look just alike. Looks like Brandon Ayuk could be Mike Tomlin's son. But all jokes aside, Ayuk can play. Lions saw that, firsthand. Yeah, you can call it a lucky catch, but the concentration in which he made that play with, that's tough. I've been in those moments. Like, those catches seem easy. To concentrate like that in that crowd. So he's a hell of a player. And he's definitely, I don't know if he's necessarily a 1-1, but I think he's definitely a 1B or an elite 2. So you pair him with George Pickens and that run game that kind of got going a little bit for the Steelers towards the end with the rookie running back and Najee Harris. Maybe, but they're going to make the playoffs, Maz. But it's just that offense, I don't know, man. Freiermuth, they got a good tight end. But
if you're San Francisco and you have these two receivers, which one are you shopping? Because it'd be Debo for me.
Hell no. Do you know the record that the 49ers are with Debo than without him?
Cincinnati wanted Debo.
I would prefer to, at their
They
this
run their
point in their
offense through-
careers, I'd rather have Ayuk for that team in their future than Debo.
They run the ball with Debo. They throw
Not
short
anymore.
screens with Debo.
They run the
They
screens.
did in the playoffs.
Sure. Oh, but the way that he was running the ball 2 years ago, he's not doing that anymore.
But you still have that option, whether it's not good as well. We can argue about it, but Dr. Pierce is actually on the phone. We need to talk to him about this blood clot situation with Asar Thompson because he knows way more than we do. But first, let's get a message from Planet Fitness. Where your fitness is essential. Only $10 a month is what it costs to be at Planet Fitness. The gyms get better and better every year. We were there this past Tuesday in Redford Heights. Great gym, and it's squeaky clean, and the people there are great service. They have a 30-minute total body workout. It takes you 30 minutes. It's a circle. You can just go to each station and it'll tell you what to do, and it'll tell you the clock. The clock's right there for you. Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential.
And you can join Woodward
Every
Sports.
year, after a cold and dreary winter, Metro Detroiters come together for two things: Tigers baseball and the best damned party in the world. A new season of Tigers baseball is here, and we're bringing in the new season as only Woodward Sports knows how. Broadcasting live from the biggest party. It's the Grand Slam Festival at the Detroit Opera House. Come party with 4,000 Detroit sports fans, starting with Wake Up Woodward and rolling into Big D Energy. This is a party you don't want to miss. With Detroit's best DJs, food trucks, and of course, shots. Get your tickets now at GrandSlamFest.com. 21 plus. See you April 5th at the Grand Slam Fest.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles, and with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
You smell that? That's Brad Holmes cooking, and the off-season smells good. Woodward Sports.
Where's the most convenient place to get that big fitness energy?
It's Planet Fitness.
Join today for just $1 down, $10 a month. With over 2,400 locations and equipment for every workout, you can get in, get energized, and get going. And with free fitness training and most clubs open 24 hours, everyone belongs in the judgment-free zone. So join today for $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment, cancel anytime.
A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
Hey guys, join Woodward Sports as we party live from downtown Detroit for the Tigers home opener. We'll be broadcasting starting at 8 a.m. from Grand Slam Fest. It's the biggest party in Detroit, over 4,000 party people. Win your tickets now. All you got to do is like the stream and comment Grand Slam Fest right now. Grand Slam Fest will select one winner to come to opening day fest April the 5th as the Detroit Opera House parking lot. That's where we're going to be, or you can buy your tickets at GrandSlamFest.com. So somebody right now in the chat, write it up. You know what it says. Grand Slam Fest for your chance to come on down to opening day and say hi to my daughter Maddie and her good friend, of course, Tori. Back to you guys.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Back to Ermanni. That was with Maz. Always love when the girls come to the studio. Maz is so crazy. We started the show in 2021. And Maddie was nowhere near that tall.
No, she wasn't.
She's a young woman now. Maddie, how you guys doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm surprised. I'm shocked how much you guys have grown, man. It's good to see you.
They got out of school early, I guess, today, and they skipped tennis practice. I don't know how they did that.
Yes, we did.
Appreciate that support, Maddie. Now tell us about Fort Lauderdale. When are you guys going, man?
We're going Easter night. We'll leave it.
Are you excited about the trip?
I'm so excited.
Get the heck out of Michigan in this ever-changing weather. One day it's cold, one day it's warm. Fort Lauderdale should be fun.
All right.
I agree.
Thank you, girls.
Okay, bye.
We got Dr. Pierce.
Dr.
You, fellas. Dr. Jeff S. Pierce on the bat phone.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, bring him in. Dr. Pierce, the Michigan Sports and Spine Center, always bringing us that good news and good information. Doc, how you been, man?
Good. How are you all?
I can't complain. What's going on down in Nashville, man? You spend a lot of time down there. Got information you want to share? I put him on the spot.
I'm just spreading my knowledge. I can't just spread it around Detroit. I gotta, Tennessee's asking for my knowledge, so we're expanding down here from a professional standpoint.
Okay.
We're bringing our philosophy here, our aggressive approach to sports medicine and rehab and all that. And it's actually great here. You guys, I heard you complaining about the weather.
No, I love Nashville.
I'm talking about the weather there. It's 78 and sunny here.
Oh, way to brag about
Rub
it.
it in.
Way to rub it in. So,
I got a wedding to go to on the first Saturday of May. Instead of watching the Derby, my cousin's getting married in Nashville, so I'll be down there soon enough, Doc.
Nashville's a beautiful city. Before we get into it, man, because we got some breaking news. Well, not breaking, but we have news about Asar Thompson and what he has going on. Doc, the NCAA tournament is on, and you typically make good picks. You picked the score correct, right? We've been using you ever since. Who is in your Final Four, and who do you have taking it on, man? Could you share that information?
Well, all the brackets should be in by now, so nobody's cheating. But just go to the end. I see University of Connecticut just rolling. I mean, I got my Michigan State team. We pulled through today. I got them going to the Final 8. I think it's Kansas City and UConn I have in the final game.
You got Kansas and UConn? Okay. You're a brave man to choose Kansas.
Yeah, I mean, we had Houston, Kansas, UConn, and I can't remember.
Marquette, maybe?
I can't remember my fourth one.
Marquette or Creighton. That's what I went with.
No, I don't have Marquette.
North Carolina?
Oh, no, I have Michigan State beating
Do you have
North
Purdue?
Carolina.
You got Michigan State
Purdue
beat.
lost. Purdue loses before the Final Four and the Final 8.
All right, so it looks like you're going with the smart people who choose UConn.
You're taking the chalk, Doc. All right, we got you.
Check it out. Hey, you're a smart man. You're a smart man. You take the Hurley brothers, you take UConn, and you win.
Right. I mean, they know how to. They've been there. They know what's going on. I mean, like Arizona, I like them, but you can't depend on them. Purdue. You shut down the big man. What else? What are you going to do?
Try to look for Jay Knight, but no
these
longer
guys,
plays with them. I agree.
Right.
So let's just go with the UConn Huskies for the second year in a row. Doc, we got news that Asar Thompson is now out for the year, treated for a blood clot. Initial thoughts on that? So young to be getting blood clots.
19 years old.
Little young to be getting blood clots. They typically they happen after surgeries, but I don't know. That's why we lean on you to tell me, is this irregular? And it seems to be happening a lot. And actually, I think Anson, he wants to run some things by you as well.
So to understand a blood clot in a 19-year-old, you guys are right. You're hitting on it. Typically it's post-surgical. Typically it's an older person flying or hasn't been mobile for a while. When you have it in a 19-year-old, that leads to a full medical workup, meaning there's clotting factors that are not naturally happening in your body every day. The classic is if you cut yourself, how quickly that kind of scabs over, clots, and stops bleeding. Like if it's excessive, then we start worrying that you're bleeding too much. When you get a blood clot, that means that your clotting factors, where the blood's supposed to stay thin. We don't have to get into the real science of it, but there's factors within the blood system that creates a clotting factor, which should be normal. So when you get a blood clot formed, he has to have a very extensive battery of blood work through most likely hematology. And then we worry about silly things. I mean, you have to rule out all the silly stuff. I mean, like oncology, hematology is together. That's one of the specialties that mostly deals with blood issues and cancers. So there's a reason why they overlap. So, if there's a simple that he had some unknown trauma and he had a blood contusion or a hematoma that formed, then that might be it. So I don't know exactly where the blood clot is. Do we know where the blood clot is?
Well, that's a great question, Doc, because I guess most modern history in medical history, we knew what blood clots were. But there's something new that's popped up over the last 3 years called mass fibrin clots. Are you familiar with those?
Right. Yeah, that's, again, the fibrin is what creates the clots and stuff like that. So
These are some large, long
But I
clots,
was saying what
different than things that we've seen in history. Are you seeing more issues with young players that are more than just broken limbs and hurt joints?
He's trying to get to another question, Doc. He's trying to get to the reasoning.
Trying to get to the reasoning.
He's trying to get to the elephant in the room of something that happened a couple of years ago and was forced upon everybody almost.
I'm not following. Fill me in. So basically, yes, there is a science behind it. I think our science is getting better of detecting this with the ultrasound and the blood work that's being done. Is it more common? You're seeing, I don't know if it's more common or we're just picking up on it more. So what is your question that you want to ask straight up?
Hold on, Doc. Before we ask that question, I'm gonna let him ask that question. We just gotta give this news to our listeners. Just happened, breaking news. Cam Sutton released by the Detroit Lions. Look, they felt the need to know. They've got enough information. You asked me about the information, how much they had and how they get their information. It doesn't take long. They were notified about it yesterday. They dug into the situation. This is exactly what Stick and I talked about. I said there's no way you can go on with this player.
Oh, yeah.
The being on the run thing's crazy, and then obviously you add today it's a little more updated situation.
Lions social media put out a simple thing. Lions have released Cam Sutton. That's all they write. That's all they put down, and that's it. Yeah. It's over.
Yeah, so just wanted to get that out there to the people, Doc, as well. But go ahead, Anson.
Has he been found?
No.
Nobody knows where he is. Right?
No,
we don't know if he's
2024.
We don't know anything.
They know he's in Florida. That's about it. So, but Doc, to bring it back, and since I'll just make it very clear, 3 years ago the vaccine was unleashed upon the world. And in the last 3 years, we've seen a striking rise in on-field deaths and collapses. We've seen 2 strokes in the NFL in the last year and a half. We've seen a heart attack in the NFL. We saw LeBron James, who has to be one of the most surrounded by medical and training, people around in the world. His son letting a heart murmur slip past him. These mass fibrillary clots that we're seeing that are different from the traditional clots of formed by blood are being formed by basically a kind of a foreign matter. And I'm curious, how much of this are you seeing? Are you seeing young people, not with just ACL tears and things like that, but are you seeing more collapses on the field of play? Are you seeing more blood-related problems with young athletes that shouldn't be facing these types of problems?
All right, so I'm going to penalize myself to not follow your lead there, picking on the COVID thing. There is definitely documentation that there's thickening of the blood. There was more clots being formed. Is there a direct correlation? I think hypothetically we can run down that lane, but overall I still want to go with the purity of what's going on. Am I a pro COVID vaccine guy, or am I against it? I think to answer what you're asking, I would say it's becoming a little bit more in the press and media savvy people. I can't tell you the statistics though. I'd be lying to you if I knew the statistics that it has been up 10%. I mean, we've had some people like LeBron's son who did have an issue. It's always been a fear of the sports medicine doctor because we're more sports medicine. We've had things with the Red Wings where we've had murmurs. What LeBron's son had was more of a murmur. And did that affect him, have anything to do with COVID or the vaccine? I don't think so. I think it was just, there's a percentage of kids that have malformations in their body, and that's what we're seeing. Like years ago, I was on a task force for studying cardiac heart. I think we did it after Fisher, passed out on the ice with the Red Wings. And it became very big. There's a program with Beaumont to start doing ultrasounds of young kids for prevention. So I'm not 100%. I'm not gonna fall into this trap right now that I can blame the vaccine for a higher number. I think we're more aware of it. I think it's a concern. There's well-documented studies that have shown that the clotting factors have increased. There's increased cardiac issues because of COVID and what's going on. Is it from COVID that we got it, or is it from the vaccine? So I don't know if they want to really find out, but the research will probably show out that COVID did cause increasing factors. There was increased strokes, increased heart attacks. So to play into that, we're getting away from sports medicine here. I think it's a concern. I think the amount of ultrasounds and screenings of cardiac for young kids is becoming more of a commonplace when they have certain symptoms. Like when they have shortness of breath, when we don't expect it, they do have clotting factors. Do we want to add blood work to typical high school physicals? I mean, that may be something we need to start doing. But right now, I don't think the numbers have increased enough to bring us to recognize that.
Well, I appreciate you.
I don't know if that's exactly where you were going.
Yeah, I appreciate your candor, because it's a big story here in Detroit with the SAR. You're developing these blood clots. So we were curious. We're happy that you could give us some time share your knowledge and be so open about everything with us.
Yeah, appreciate that, Doc. Doc, give us some good news before we get out of here, man. What are you going to eat? Where you eating at tonight in Nashville?
Well, they have it's called Flatiron is one of the places. Actually, I'm out. I'll be in Nashville tomorrow night, so we're probably gonna be at the restaurant at the JW up on top, overlooking the city.
Ooh,
nice.
So that's
sexy vibe.
But it's a fun place, and Bob, Kid Rock's out here, and he's not here this week, and he's actually in Florida. So we're gonna probably stop by his place down there, have a little fun. But yeah, I like the energy here in Tennessee and Nashville. So maybe we'll start doing our Woodward Sports from Tennessee soon. So
there you go.
Well, he's our.
How are you guys?
We're doing good, Doc.
Braylon, you got away with it. You cut me off. I want to know.
I didn't try to cut you off. We got to end the show, Doc. We got to get up out of here, man. We were up against it. That's all. That's all. We were up against it, man. We're gonna have to check.
All right, real quick.
Thursday.
Who'd you guys pick?
UConn. I'm no idiot. What? It's UConn. I don't even need to give you the other three. It's UConn. But I think I went heavy on the number 1 and 2 seeds this year. I think last year it got blown out. It was 9, an 8, 5, and a 3. This year I think it will be 1-2 base. Whether it's Purdue, it's going to be Houston. I think Arizona is a 2 seed and Marquette's a 2 seed. I think you'll be heavy on the 1s and 2s. Doc, we got to get out of here. We will talk to you next week. He is Dr. Jeff Pierce, and he is also with Michigan Sports and Spine. We'll talk to you next week, Doc.
See you, Doc.
All right, take care, guys.
All right, man.
All right, brother.
Hey, man, Cam Sutton, as we all said, he was not going to be long for this team. They still have not found him, but the Lions have parted company with him. Nael Ruhl gave us the numbers from Spot Rack. The numbers go out like this as far as cap hits. Because the Lions have released him now, they take on a $19.2 million dead cap hit, and they forfeit $6.54 million in cap space. Had they waited till after June 1st, they would have carried a $12.5 million cap into June. Then they would have had a hit, $12.6 million, and another $6.5 million next year. So they cut him now. They'll take their losses, and they move on. I just pray for this guy that he's going to be okay.
Yeah,
that's it.
I was going to say this, and I'll stick with this. I don't want to put this in the air, but it's just it just what it leads to. In 2024, it's hard to disappear. Like in 2024, it's hard to disappear. So now it makes me think something a little more darker, a little more sinister. Guys just don't disappear in 2024 when the police is looking for them. Hell, I told you how they found my uncle in a matter of an hour and a half, and that incident happened in 2009. People don't just disappear.
Yeah.
So I hope the best for him. I hope it's not the worst. But the situation is getting darker and darker.
It's one bad day, man.
Yeah.
Just turn yourself in.
Yeah. We'll figure it out.
And move on.
We'll figure it out.
That's it. The heavyweights will have more on this, obviously.
Yeah, well, that's our show, man. We appreciate you, Anson, for stepping in, man. Great show out of you. We appreciate Nael Ruhl for hitting us up for Pittsburgh, and then we appreciate Dr. Jeff Pierce. Yo, Mike, great show out of you, Pete. Appreciate you, brother. And we appreciate you for tuning in to Ermanni and Edwards with Matt. And congratulations to the Michigan State Spartans who win in round 1. I can't say go green.
They're going to be playing North Carolina next.
Go home. That's what they about to do.
We'll see.
We'll see you guys later.